Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, Ireland's only answer to Harry Kane, bringing you a post-match reaction of today's magnificent 4-0 win over Sheffield United. And for me, it was do or die for top four, and I'm still going to hang on to the hopes that top four is achievable. But I am joined by Kieran, Cenk, Alex, and Simon. And I just want to know how the boys are keeping, what they make of the game quickly. Kieran, how are you and what you make of the game?
Yeah, I'm good. Look, to be honest, I'm a bit happy after performance. Don't think it's anything that is going to completely change our season, but it's nice to see the team actually playing on the front foot and actually fully looking for goals. Even when we scored one, looking for the second. When we're 3-0, still looking for the fourth, the fifth. You know, still try and press and go for goal, which is, I think, what we've been missing as fans for the past God knows how many months.
Yeah, 100%. And that's Kieran's thoughts from Talk. Let's talk Spurs. So big up, Kieran. Cenk from Spurs Web, how are you, man? And what do you think of today's game?
I'm good, mate. Good to be on the channel. Pleasure coming on as well. Thanks very much. Do you know what? It was a good performance. You can only beat what's in front of you, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's stay grounded. We've got a few good teams coming up. Leeds is going to be a big game. End to end, probably, especially if we go at them like we did today against Sheffield. So, few big games coming up, but I'm staying level-headed, and we've still got a lot of issues, but we'll get into it, man. We had a few good performances today. Gareth Bale, class, man, class. So it's good to see. We'll get into it.
100%. We will get into it, and we will be getting into Gareth Bale. But Simon from Premier Hotspur TV, man, how are you keeping and what you make of today's game?
Absolutely fantastic, Dave. Yeah, I agree with the lads there. Let's not get carried away. It's Sheffield United at the end of the day, but a win's a win. I mean, that's massive 3 points again. And as said, David, this top four is not out of our reach. There's some good performances out there today. I thought Bale fantastic. I thought Dele was good in the first half. I think he tied in the second half though. But yeah, we saw some good performances, and you only beat what's in front of you. So yeah, all I'm happy. We got a victory today.
Yeah, 100%. And Alex, my man, how are you keeping? And what do you make on today's game?
I'm good, David.
First of all, I want to see that big smile, Alex. Give us that big smile we all want to see. That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
David,
look a bit depressed there.
I'm going to be honest with you, yeah. I didn't care about this game today. I don't really care what's going on next 4 games, to be honest with you. We've had conversation personally about this, why I'm having it, because I came on the stream today. To be honest with you, we could have beaten them 6-0, 10-0, 11-0, 12-0, 65-0. It doesn't make a blind bit of difference. And this is nothing against Mason. Our club is an absolute mess at the moment. And it's kind of summarised by the fact that I think it's highlighted. They don't have an absolute clue what they want as a manager. Got not a clue. Like this Ten Hag talk, let's be honest here, they only did it for PR. Let's be honest here. They only did it for PR because they weren't interested. Right? Sorry to start on the negative, but I have to get this out. Right? If you really know what you want, you do your due diligence on the manager. You know what they want and everything else. You go to you speak to the people that look after that person, and basically you meet that person. It's just the formalities. That's it. It's like a bloody X Factor audition. The Tottenham looking for the Tottenham manager at the moment. Honestly, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And the thing that I really want to sum up here, this is why I've got a bait, because I didn't have a clue what we wanted as a manager. I didn't have a clue who we're going to have. I don't have a clue. But now I know what manager I want on this basis. As to Gold, he has some nuggets in his vlogs. Yeah, some good golden nuggets. He says, "Oh yeah, we're looking for a manager. Who's looking for the manager, by the way? Levy and also Steve Hitchin. Yeah. Steve Hitchin, who couldn't even find a right back for us. Steve Hitchin, who messed up the Skriniar deal that was supposed to be 45 million. Now he's 80 million now. On that basis now, I'll give you exclusive. I want Roderick. What's his name? Roderick. Oh, I forgot his name now. The German guy. Roderick. Oh, can't pronounce his name.
Rangnick.
So this is really bad.
Ralph Ragnick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ragnick. Yeah, that's it.
Ragnick.
And my logic for that, you've got a director of football. You can play him as director of football or a coach, right? You can either get rid of Steve Hitchin, because as far as I'm concerned, right? As far as I'm concerned, yeah. If you keep Steve Hitchin in, right, you're getting nowhere. You're getting nowhere at Tottenham, by the way. So you get rid of him. At least then you've got Rodrin, who's a good director of football, good coach, right? So then at least then you could either play him in between, doing as a director of football, has somebody under him, or him doing the coaching and then grooming somebody. Should maybe not say that word, but say, having somebody in place to to do that coaching role, and then you can go up, do the director of football, and then we've got an identity. You see what I'm saying? Because I've heard that he's taught Klopp, he's taught Tuchel, he's taught other managers as well. That's a plan. That is a plan for me going forward. Because if we don't sort ourselves out, because it's quite ironic now, it's changed to getting the manager in before the end of the season to end of the season now. I am concerned now. I'm very concerned, because I'm looking at it like this. We are relegation candidates next season if we don't sort ourselves out next season.
Look,
so that's what I need to say.
We'll get a bit more onto the manager situation in a few minutes. I just want to go through a few formalities. Make sure you smash a like on the stream and subscribe on the channel if you're new. Also, don't be afraid to get your super chats in as well with your opinions. Let us know whether you agree or disagree with Alex. Let us know what you make on Gareth Bale's performance. Should John Fleck have been sent off for that stamp on Lo Celso's head? What do you make of Dele Alli's performance today? What do you make of United's protest? What do you make of Serge Aurier's performance? And is Son back? Do we have our Tottenham back? And what do you make on the top four hopes? But before we do get some chat off the panel, we will welcome a few people to the stream. We have Mr. Edwardson. Big yourself up, my man. Nice to see you back, lad. Where's the cockerel? Where the cockerel crows? They're saying they're looking forward to it. And they're saying make sure Cenk brings that Reiki mafia. Big yourself up. John Fitzpatrick, big up, John. He says, good win today, but too little, too late. We can win when there's no pressure. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. Shamu, big yourself up. He says, how is that not violent conduct on Gio? He got Seth Rollins curb stomp just about 4 goals away of a Ric Flair. Woo! Big up. He says, hi David, nice win, but Mourinho was we won 6-1 to United, so I'm not excited. It's only Sheffield 20th in the table. Yeah, no, I agree with that, Abby. Toffee 20 says, come on, you Spurs, 92 flamethrower. Says, hi lads. Hashtag Harris Army, big yourself up, 92 flamethrower. ATX 7 gaming. Let's go, boys. Big yourself up. Big up, Fen from Everton Football. We have William McKenzie in the house. Big yourself up, my man. How are you keeping? Justin as well. Hello, Justin. How are you keeping, lad? Adam Fox, big yourself up. He says, delight. We got the result we needed. Let's just take it one game at a time. We got Will Stewart's THFC in the THFC rants in the house. He says, you need one of me on here. Will, I put the call out in the Spurs family, my man. I was waiting for you to tell me you wanted to come on. But look, Simon is only staying on for half an hour because he has other things he needs to do. So as soon as Simon gets off, he can forward you the link, Will, and you're more than welcome to come on, my man. We also have Anthony Gray in the house. Big up, Anthony Gray. He wants to know what we think of Gio. We'll get on to that. We have Kieran Spiretti here, Irish Hotspur. What's your thoughts on Bale? Absolutely love this dude. We are going to get on to Gareth Bale any minute now, Kieran, so don't worry about that, my man. Then we have Tim Man is in the building. Big up, Tim Man. Tara Simpson is in the building. Big yourself up. We also have a super chat here from Pete from the lane. Big up. He says, what a win today. Brilliant performance. Top four is back on. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Pete from the lane. He came over at Tottenham. It was nice to meet some fans of the channel, so big yourselves up. It was a great day out. And you made my experience by recognizing me and showering me with how good my channel is. I really do appreciate it, Pete from the lane. You're an absolute legend. Big yourself up. But look, we will just get straight into it. Paddy Harnett, big up Paddy Harnett. He was on Twitter asking where we're going live. was playing a trick on him, telling him I wasn't going, even though we were going. So big up Paddy Hart. How you keeping, my brother? And Wolf Mowler's in the building. Big up, Wolf Mowler. How you keeping, man? And Xander Everett as well. But look, we'll start with Kieran, work our way around the panel. Kieran, what do you think of Gareth Bale's performance today? And should we extend his loan next season and keep him at this club?
First 30 minutes, he was, to be honest, he didn't look necessarily sharp. There's a few times he was touching the ball and it's kind of getting away from him, a few stray passes. But like the thing with Bale is, it's literally that cliche saying, form is temporary, class is permanent. All he needs is that one little sniff at goal, and he's picked up a goal, and from then his whole performance picked up. From them, I thought he was, like, realistically, he's brilliant. Just took his chances well, realistically. But that's all he needs. He needs half a sniff at goal, and he will take those chances. As for whether we take him on next season, my heart says yes. Daniel Levy's wallet says no. But I don't know. I think we need someone apart from Kane and Son that can score goals. And I think realistically, if we can extend his loan and for what his loan costs, you question, would you get anyone else in for that type of money that's going to potentially provide the goals or assists that he can for you? So personally, I think it's something to definitely for the club to look into. But again, it's up to, I suppose, Levy, Real Madrid and Bale, but my heart says yes.
Do you think, though, Kieran, just quickly, that doing it against the lower opposition teams is enough to warrant him to be here next season?
See, but this is the thing, right? People are saying, oh, well, he's only scored against lower opposition. But this thing, you think he came on against Brighton and he got us the winner. That was the first goal he scored. Right, he's come on today. Kane was having a bad day, but he's come on today and bagged 3 goals. Sonny's got 1, yes. But, he still stepped up to play and took his chances when it was needed. And people say he didn't step up in the big games. The only big game, realistically, that he's not stepped up in is realistically that Arsenal game where he started. He had 1 bad half and then got taken off. Because if you think of it, against West Ham, he had, against City, he got something like 15 minutes. And people going, all right, yeah, surely he has to play against West Ham. He's been our best player since he's come on. Then he played the second half against West Ham. People were sitting there going, like, hang a second, Bale's been by far our best player. We lost 2-1, but he got our assist after coming on. And then he had that shot that came off the crossbar. People were saying, surely he's got to start more games because he's been our best player again. He went on his little run, came against Arsenal, and obviously he didn't have a good first half, got taken off. And then that was pretty much it. We didn't really see him. So, you could argue as well, is it just the opportunities he's been given against the big teams? He's come off the bench against half of them. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. Cenk, what do you make of Gareth Bale? And again, would you keep him here next season?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Do I see us bringing him on a permanent 600k a week? No. Do I see him taking a pay cut? Absolutely not. So that's a tough one. You got to think about it. When's his contract with Madrid run out? I'm not entirely sure. You got to think about that as well, because obviously teams will be coming after him. Do you know what I mean? And it depends where he wants his career to end. Maybe it is at Spurs. Maybe he wants that, but it's where we can dish up the money. I do not see us paying 300k a week. Absolutely not. But the guy is class. Form is temporary, class is permanent. The guy is just, he's got that instinct about him in the final third. He gets onto that left foot and you know it's a goal. Well, it's going to be something close, isn't it? But he's excellent, man. The guy oozes class. He's always had that glimpse, even when he wasn't performing towards the start of his Spurs loan. He always knew that as that glimpse. It always was showing it in small little phases of a game, and he was like, "We need that Gareth Bale back." And I think, you know what, we have had some good games out of him, some good performances. And you know what, with him, it's in the change room as well. Those players around him. Do you know what I mean? When you're surrounded by Gareth Bale, you're training with him day in, day out. It's not too bad, is it? He's a fantastic player. He's won Champions Leagues on his own, and that's the sort of player we need in the change room because he's got that mentality. He's been there and done that, and I'd absolutely love to see him at Spurs for years to come, even if it is off the bench now and again towards the end. I'd absolutely love it. Do you know what I mean? You can't complain. He's always got that goal in him.
Yeah, 100%. And just interestingly, when I was on, we were talking, they asked me a question about, like, why do you think Gareth Bale gets a bad rep compared to Jesse Lingard, even though they've been kind of similar this season in stats and that?
I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? I think people have got this little bit of an agenda against him as well with all the golf stuff and the amount of money he does earn. People just like to force things. It's just a culture, isn't it, with fans? But do you know what? Bale's done brilliantly, and I think he's actually gone a little bit under the radar in terms of his goals and assists. You know what I mean? I think like outside of Kane and Son, no one's actually stepped up. He's been one of the players who have stepped up, and put things on the plate and scored goals. So I can't complain with Gareth. And like I said, I'd absolutely love to see him at Spurs next season if we can get the deal over the line again.
Yeah, 100%. And Simon, what do you make? What do you think of what Cenk was just saying there?
Yeah, I totally agree with him. As I said with Gareth Bale, first with his performance today, I think he was fantastic today. I really do. On and off the ball, I think he was brilliant. He was finding spaces and all that. I think he did start off slow, but he grew into the game. But 3 fantastic finishes, and that's what you need in your team. And for keeping him next season, I think it goes down to whoever's going to be in charge next season. I'd love to see Gareth Bale in an someone who plays attacking football. You know what I mean? Who gives Gareth that free license to go, because you'll see a different Gareth Bale. But I'll definitely keep him. And as what Jake was saying there, someone to come off the bench with his quality, his class. You know what I mean, today just showing it with these 3 class finishes. They were 3 absolutely top finishes. And going forwards, and I mean, even as Jake said, even just off the bench for a couple more seasons, he can prove a difference. Someone like, if you're looking for someone to get a goal, I mean, there's no better than Gareth Bale to come off the bench. But I think it comes down to our next manager. Does he fancy him, and does he play that attacking football what Bale does? But me personally, he was fantastic today, and I'll definitely keep him for the next 1 or 2 seasons. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, look, his 3 finishes today were top drawer. You just knew when he had the opportunity to shoot, he was going to bury it. But Simon, you were saying there about, Gareth Bale coming off the bench. For me, I actually think he's looked better when he's starting games. I think when he's come off the bench, he's actually looked poor. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I actually agree with that, mate. Every time he has started, he's done absolutely fun. He's done great. It's with his age, as he gets older. I don't think he's going to able to start many games. And that's what I said to you. I think he'll be great. It's a great option to have off the bench. But yeah, I do agree, David. When he had started, and this is why I think he should have started in the final. It may not have made a difference, but it could have made an impact in the game. You know what I mean, not starting Gareth Bale. I think that was a bit of a silly decision by Mason, but that's gone now. You know what I mean? But to me, Gareth Bale, mate, seriously, I think he's proven his worth as well. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's been given his chance to get the big 6. I think against Arsenal he had to start, and I think from then, as he had 15 minutes here, 10 minutes here, you don't expect someone to change the game just like that. Because it's Gareth Bale, everyone expects him to change the game. But to me, David, I'd love to see Bale here for the next 1 or 2 seasons, at least, hopefully.
Can I just actually add to that, right?
Yeah.
When we said we kind of need someone like him, he's got more goals than Ndombele, Lo Celso, Lucas, and Lamela combined this season. And you think he's come off the bench for only some of these? He's played under half the minutes that some of these have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so when you think he can literally have that little amount of minutes coming off the bench for 15 minutes or so here and there and making that much of an impact, who else are you realistically going to get for the 14 million or whatever it's going to cost us to get him, that's going to come in and provide that type of return? 67 minutes per goal in the Premier League. I think it's like the best I think someone put it in the chat. It's like the best output by any player for like goals and assists this season at the moment. Yeah.
No, he does have good stats. And the BG, just before we get Alex's views, he meant to say 14 goals in 14 games. How good Spurs would have been if he was given more time. David, I know you love Kane, but I think he got overshadowed by Gareth today. Yeah, of course Kane did. Of course he got overshadowed by Gareth Bale today. Kane was actually a bit disappointing today. I think maybe he's still a bit down after the cup final defeat. But look, in terms of this season, Kane has completely outshone Gareth Bale completely. But BG, man, Great super chat, great stats. I really do appreciate the super chats from you and Pete from the lane. I really do appreciate it. You have no idea how much it really does help this channel grow, help me get better stuff to be able to create better content and everything else. So big yourself up, BG. I really do appreciate that, my man. Alex, what do you make of Gareth Bale's performance today? And do you think maybe Jose was hindering Gareth Bale this season?
I've made my opinions clear about Bale. Bale should never have come to Tottenham. I've given the story out already that Jose never wanted him. It was a shock that he even Daniel Levy went there. To be honest with you, I think he's a hindrance in the sense that he's stopping the development of Bergwijn, certain players in the team. For me, yes, he's playing well. I don't like him on the right. I've told you that already. He's not a winger. He's either up front or a free role for me.
But he's got all of his goals. He's got most of his goals playing off the right this season.
But the reason why he's getting his goals is because there's players around him helping him getting those goals. As far as I'm concerned, he is good quality in terms of finishing. Those finishes were absolutely fantastic. I've got to give it to him. But again, it was against Sheffield United. I think the overreaction over against Burnley was overreacting so much. Honestly, I was watching. Me and my dad was talking. It was just so much hype over it. And Burnley played absolutely rubbish. But to be fair, he does score. He does have good quality finishes on him. I think he should be playing up front, and that's down to Bale. That is down to Bale. Bale wants to play on the right, and he's not good on the right anymore. He hasn't got the pace to do it. The game now, it means that you need to be really got a lot of energy. You see what I'm saying? This is what the problem when Jose was in charge. He didn't believe in that. And now he went away from that scientific sort of energy sort of thing. And that's why Tottenham were always tired at the end of the match. Now we're trying to get back into that sort of thing now. And if Tottenham are going to move onto being a good team again, trying to refresh the squad that everybody's saying, we need to get back to that with the things with Poch. And unfortunately, Gareth Bale is not that sort of guy, unfortunately, for me. If you want to use him better, in my opinion, he needs to evolve his game further because he's not got the pace to play on the right anymore. He came up front, and that's a simple thing for me. But I don't think we should have him next season. I think we need to move it on. And
William McKenzie here, Alex, would disagree with you. He says he's a club hero. How can Bale not be positive to team and the youth?
Well, that's the point. We're living in the past. We need to move it on. Unfortunately, I think there's a better way forward for us. We need to get back to that team that uses energy and pace. For me, so I mean, if we're going to live in the past, we're not going to get anywhere next season. I'm really serious now, and I think a manager's going to look at that as well. Levy will have his way, his opinions, but for us to move on, the reason why we're a very good team under Poch, if we're looking at that, is because we had a lot of energy in our team, right? We were pressing, we always had that energy, and we always pressed as a team, and people could not handle us at all. As us at the moment, we're all a bit still trying to get to know the system. There's not fluidity still. It's getting there, but that's going to take time. And I think for me, unfortunately, Gareth Bale doesn't really fit in. Maybe if Kane leaves, that might be a spot for him, but he needs to realise that his game's changed now. He can't be down that right-hand side anymore because it's too detrimental.
Do you think maybe we could loan him in? Do you think maybe we could loan him in as a second striker and then, go out and get another right winger as backup to Bergwijn or Lucas or that?
Yeah, well, possibly that might be a good idea. I've always said that. I thought they're bringing him in as a striker. And then it was quite clear that he wanted to play down the right. So this is Bale's decision. It wasn't Jose Mourinho's decision. So I know that he was a bit confused about it as well. So I think if you play him as a striker, you can see he's lethal in the box. You can see he's very lethal in the box. Those are very good finishes. He's a very good finisher. I saw it against Man City when we lost 2-1. Was it 2-1 or 3-1? But yeah, when he scored that, we lost 3-0, didn't we? Yeah. But yeah, when he had that chance, and he was just so good with his feet. So he hasn't got the pace to play on the right, but he's got the skill to, make a chance for himself. So, but for me, I think if we're going to move on as a team, I think he needs to move on. Unfortunately, I don't think he fits in our team. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, look, we do have over 105 people tuning in at this time of the night. You Spurs boys, you Spurs fans, and girls and boys, you're absolutely crazy. Make sure you do smash a like on the stream and subscribe on the channel if you're new. And why not send in a couple of super chats and let us know whether you agree or disagree with what the panel are saying. But lads, do any of you want to say anything back to Alex there and what he had to say about Gareth Bale?
I understand his points, to be honest. I think if you're going to play a high press system throughout a whole season, for example, if that is the model going forward, can Gareth Bale do it week in, week out? Maybe better suited to a squad player, like with a bit what we're seeing now, but a bit more involved. Sort of starting the games where if we're playing against a low block, he can pick him out. Do you know what I mean? He's got that long shot. If we can get someone like a Pedro Neto in, boys, serious team. If we
or
can
your
get
boy
like
Kalanoglu.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got but again, it's a player like a Neto that we could bring in and make a real statement, but I don't think the board have got the cojones to do it. So it's going to be an interesting one, see what Bale's situation is as well. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good point, but I see him best suited. I don't know if he starts week in, week out because he's got the injuries as well. Let's not deny that. He's fantastic, but he has got the injuries and the fitness issues. That's a fact. It's written on paper. So they've got to find a way that's best for him, and that is probably a squad player.
Yeah.
See, I agree what Alex is saying in a way. He doesn't necessarily have the legs to be up and down the pitch constantly on that right-hand side. But you think of how Gareth is, he would probably be able to adapt his game and play a lot more central if needed. Or play up front if we needed him to. I think he'd be able to do that. I think he's going to be obviously good for any of the youth players that we've got coming through. And to be honest, like, how many players does he have more goals in the season? He's played a lot less minutes than. And for, you're not even going to get Vinicius for cheaper than his loan cost. Seriously, including the fee and the person's wages, who are you going to get that's cheaper than Gareth Bale that you can say 100% this person's going to come in and will give us goals if we need it? Yeah, it's 3 goals against Sheffield United. If you look at points that we've dropped against teams this season, we've dropped a lot of points against teams that you're looking at going, how have we not put this game to bed? Like drawing 1-1 to Newcastle and teams like that in the beginning of the season when the game should have been to bed. People like Gareth Bale could just be that person you can bring on if other players aren't having it, who could actually give you a goal. But I don't see a lot of other players in the squad that you would look at bringing off the bench. You go like, okay, yeah, cool. I trust that this person's actually going to get us a goal coming off the bench. Bergwijn, I don't know how many goals he has this season, but like I said earlier, Ndombele, Lo Celso, Lucas, Lamela, and I think even if you added Bergwijn into that mix, all of them have less.
I don't even think he has a goal this season.
He doesn't have a goal this season.
Yeah, but that's because of confidence, though. That's because of. I just need to.
No, Alex. Look, he had a run out in the team. Let's be fair.
No.
Confidence
I'm sorry.
or not, he wasn't putting in the performances.
Dave,
he wasn't giving us the finishing product.
Dave, I'm not having that. I'm sorry.
But you're talking about being sentimental with Bale. You're doing the exact same with Bergwijn.
But Dave, you're not having that. I'm not having that. Dave, he's not had any confidence. I'm sorry. Jose Mourinho didn't treat him well at all. My dad were getting very frustrated with the whole thing with Bergwijn because the way that he treated him wasn't very good. After that Liverpool game, right, I said to him, he does need to evolve. He does need to evolve. And I've said that, right, because Pochettino would have made him a better player than Mourinho's done it. But as far as I'm concerned, he's got a good direct thing about him. He just hasn't got the confidence. It's the same Valley. Ali's lost confidence. When you've got no confidence, you lose the game.
Ali hasn't had confidence for over 2 years now, Alex.
No, yeah, but I'm sorry, I don't want to hear that.
So is it a confidence or a competence issue?
He plays
2 years, like
he plays international football for Holland. I know that people say that it's a bit, thing of international football. He's a good player. So as far as I'm concerned, I think it's just down to someone trying to develop him, and that's it, and just give him more confidence. So he is a good player. I'm sorry. It's just lazy opinion saying that he's not a good player. Okay, he's got quality, right? And
four touches to get the ball under control when it takes Gareth Bale one. He's quality.
He scored it. Kieran, just to go back on Kieran, because I want Kieran to finish his point. I think Kieran's got a good point there about Gareth Bale playing up front. But the point is, Gareth Bale doesn't want to play up front because I've heard that he just wants to play on the right. And I think even Jose suggested to him, he wants to just play on the right. And I see it. I'm sorry, but you're not good enough on the right anymore. You should play up front. It's so clear now for me. But I'll let you finish your point, Kieran.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I just obviously come back because I know obviously there was a thing at the beginning of the season when Bale came in and Mourinho had that press conference. I don't think there's been anything to suggest that Bale's like refused to play in the middle. There was just that interview at the beginning of the season where Jose had said like, yeah, he asked him where he wanted to play and he said he wanted to play out on the right. That's all I've heard. I've not actually heard anything to say that, or suggest that he's gone, I will not play up front. I don't want to play up front. All I've heard is the point that he's just gone, I prefer to play on the right. So I think I genuinely think if he's enjoying where he is, he'll put in a shift wherever we need him to. I think. Well, I'd like to believe that. Maybe I'm being a bit delusional there, but I'd like to believe that if we needed him to, he would step up in that position. But surely he can have a mixture then. Against teams like the lower teams that we need him to dismantle, we can have him play it when we've got a lot of the ball and we're on the front foot constantly. We can maybe have him on the right, but some of the bigger teams, if we need a goal, he just goes, right, okay, we need, and he agrees to play in the middle. Surely that, it's not just I'm point blank refusing not to play in the middle.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say it is either, to be honest with you. Look, with a player like Gareth Bale, if he's telling you he wants to play on the right and that's where you're going to get the best out, you play him on the right. You know what I mean? Same as Messi, if he tells you what he wants to do, you just let him do what he wants to do. Same with Ronaldo. Them sort of players, if that's where he wants to play, regardless, you play him there. But in terms of Bergwijn, Alex, I have to say I completely disagree. He's had more than enough time to prove his worth. You can sit here and make excuses and say it's confidence all you want. At the end of the day, he's had a good run. And, he wasn't producing anything off the right-hand side. It was only up until a few months ago, every Spurs channel across YouTube was sitting here talking about what's wrong with the right-hand side. And he had his chances, to be fair. He just doesn't have the end product.
That's rubbish. I'm sorry. Lee's game, he helped Song and Kang, right? He was tracking back, doing all that hard work down that right-hand side. So I'm sorry, that is absolute rubbish.
And is that what you pay 30 million per winger to do, or do you pay 30 million per winger
that's
to
what the job that Jose
assist?
Mourinho was telling him to do. So as far as I'm concerned, that's what he was doing. So he's a very good player, okay? And I'm telling you now, if we can develop him into a player, if we can get him, it's down to identity of the team. As far as I'm concerned, he's got a lack of identity. He doesn't know what to play at the moment. So, I mean, that's why I'm saying, if you have a lack of identity, you have the mess that we've got at the moment. And that's what it is at the moment. You've got Mason at the moment, who's just got these sort of players who've got no confidence of what they want to do because they've been trained to do certain things from Mourinho, which I don't want to go into in too much. But now we're changing our ways of attacking now, our identity of how we're going to play. So you just got to give it time. And it's down to the structure and how we're going to play and what we're going to do day to day, or how we're going to go about approaching the games now. So I'm sorry, I think it's wrong to think that Bergwijn's a waste of time. He's a very good player, and I'm still going to stick by that. If we sell him, okay, we sell him, but it's a big mistake.
I think Bergwijn is completely shut of confidence. There's no denying that, and you can see it in his body language. You can see it through his social media. You can just point blank, the kid's got no confidence. But we cannot protect or give excuses for how bad he's been, because it's not the levels that we should be having at Tottenham Hotspur. We can't sit here and say that he's had a bad season, he's shot of confidence, etc., etc. We've got to be better than that. If that was at Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, they wouldn't put up with that. No way. Maybe Arsenal's a bit of a crap excuse. They are a bit shit, but anyway, you get the point. At a City, they wouldn't take this. No, you just got to be higher. Do you know what I mean? Even Lamella. This is not just Bergwijn. It's Lamella. It's Mora. Yeah. We can't just say players are good because they run about. I mean, you can pay me £1,000 a week. I'll run about for you. I don't mind for Tottenham. So we've got to be chipping in consistently, even with Ndombele and Chelsea.
this is the thing, Jen. We don't pay these players 60, 70, 80 grand a week just to make excuses for them. We pay them to produce on the pitch. At the end of the day, they're paid and everything else is given to them what they need to be able to prepare for the game and come out and do their job. And, you know, I'm sick of making excuses for a lot of these players, and this is why we're in the position we're in. But look, let's get on to Dele Alli's performance today. We'll start with Kieran and work our way around the panel again. Kieran, what did you make of Dele Marley's performance?
Like I said in the opening, to be honest, I thought to be fair, I think the whole team was a little bit, misplaced passes and everything for the first 30 odd plus minutes for the first half, and I think Ali was the same. I think a lot of people see him playing one or two good passes in that game and think, oh, he's back, Dele's back. I think he needs to show a bit more. I don't want to crucify him too much because look, he hasn't had regular game time this season. I think that it's a start, but it's nowhere near where he needs to be. If he wants to be regular in the team, he needs to show a bit more. But like I said, he's only had one game. It's a start, but he needs to show more going forward if he is going to play, personally.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Cenk, what do you think on Dele Marley's performance?
Dele Alli's performance, a little bit better. I think he was trying to get involved. He was trying to drop deep. He was trying to make things happen. Might not have happened, but he was trying, and that's all you can ask. I think he was a little bit more bright. I don't think he done anything too exceptional or anything too poor. Lost the ball now and again, but that's expected, as Kieran was alluding to. Not much game time. Going to be a little bit rusty, but look, we'll see what happens with the process with him, with a new manager, with Ryan Mason now to the end of the season. Interesting case with him. We know what happened. It's not an absolute mystery that he has declined. It's a fact. We've seen it, his performances. We see it in the numbers. So we've got to try and recover that. And see what happens in the summer as well. If he wants out, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? With England's squad, well, their squad can be bigger now for the Euro. So it'll be interesting to see if he gets in, if he wants to get in. But it would be interesting because he's a player that we know has got the quality. But when was the last time we saw it?
Yeah.
Truly. When was the last time? And again, I allude back to the point, Spurs fans are very nostalgic, very sentimental. Is he going to be that player again? I don't think he is. It's very hard to hit those heights again. And he burst on the scene, boys. But
we've given this guy 2.5 seasons now, Cenk, to come to fruition. It wasn't just Jose who was under poor, because I don't want anyone making this excuse that Jose killed Dele Alli. Dele Alli was poor under Pochettino's era at the back end as well. So we can't blame Jose for this. This is 2.5 years now he's been poor. Cenk, surely it's time to get rid of this guy now.
If you look at Dele Alli's best moments, best goals, it's playing as a shadow striker in behind Kane, in those pockets, back post. Unfortunately, we don't have that privilege to play that system now because we're not good enough. He's a system player. He's a system player. So, I don't know. I think it's probably best for us to move him on. Fresh start for him, fresh start for us. Part our way, say thank you. And he's done great. I think he would go on and do great things at another club because he needs that for his mental space as well. I think that Spurs for him right now isn't the best place. That's my opinion on him. I don't think he's been good for, like you're saying, for about 2 years now, mate. So I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be good again because I don't think he is. I think he needs to go.
Can I actually just say something? Because obviously you've made a point about him, going to be good for him. One thing that I have thought about is, like, would it be bad if we could actually send him out on loan? It's kind of like, how many years has he been at the club? I feel like he's maybe a bit like stale in a way, like his setting hasn't changed at all. Maybe he's just feeling a bit like stuck in the mud, like a bit same old for how many years now. Like if he goes on loan, it might be kind of gets regular game time, bit of fresh air, and then comes back. It might actually be good for him.
My problem with that, though, Kieran, is no big club does that. You don't perform, you're out the door. No big club loans them out for another season and then hoping that they can come back and then hopefully that we're going to get something out of him. Because if we don't, you're talking 4 seasons where he hasn't performed. His market value would have dropped. You know what I mean? And I'm probably getting next to nothing after that if the loan doesn't work out. So the reason why I say sell him is because coming into this season, I said if Dele doesn't have a good campaign, he needs to go. And he hasn't. He hasn't. He's barely contributed.
See, I agree with you in a way, but I think it's this thing with like obviously those reports with Jose wanted it, like was willing for him to go in January. Daniel Levy didn't want him to go. I just feel like part of me just feels like we're either going to be stuck with him, like, or he goes out on loan somewhere. I feel like if we sell him, it's just got to be a big amount of money. I just feel like Levy will do all he can to make sure that he doesn't sell Dele unless it's a big amount of money. And at the moment, I don't really see anyone putting in any big offers for him because he hasn't shown anything the past 2 years for anyone to warrant such a high transfer fee.
Yeah, just Connor69 says, what do you mean he hasn't been good? He's played like 3 times. Yeah, but that's off the back of his poor season the season before and off the back of a poor 6 to 8 months under Pochettino. You know, so each season his game time is getting less because of his performances. And he's only had one good performance this season, and that was that overhead kick against Wolfsburger. You know, part-time team, let's be honest. You know, so, look, I don't think it's good enough personally, but that's just me. But Simon, what do you make on Dele Alli's performance today, and what would you do with him?
Oh, with Dele Alli, guys, he doesn't come a bad player overnight, does he? That's the thing with Dele Alli. But he's got to blame himself. He's been lazy. His ego's got in the way of him. He's rubbed off the wrong way with Jose and with Pochettino. And Pochettino, I mean, as you said, David, it's not just Jose. He had about 12 months under Poch where he went all sour there. And he come in when Jose come in, we saw a refreshed Dele Alli for the first 6-7 games under Jose, and something went wrong. I don't think he agreed with Jose's tactics, the way he plays, and I think that's it. Jose just out of him, and it looked like he got lazy. His ego got in the way. But to me, I like to see Dele just for one more season under a different manager. See how he goes. See if we can get the best out of him again, because he is a good player. As Trent said, he's quality. We know he's quality. We just need him to come out and show it. But to me, he's got to blame himself at the minute, because we can see it, mate. You can tell he's lazy. His ego's got in the way. But to me personally, I think he was all right today. I think the first half, I think on and off the ball, he was all right. It was good running off the ball. He had a couple of good camo runs, nuts a couple of plays. And that's the sort of Dele we've seen a couple of years ago. You know what I mean? But we need to see more of it. I mean, just not one game after Sheffield United. We need to see more. But to me, I'll give him another chance, just one more chance under the next boss, and let's see if we can get the best out of Dele. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and you may as well take this one as well. Simon Penny Harnett says, again, to my point, Spurs fans hope and want players to do well from past experience. My question is, how long do we give players before we move them on?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. How long do we give him more? Because, as you said, guys, he's not been playing well for the last couple of seasons now. Maybe it is probably the best to move him on. But to me, I'll just give Dele one more season. I really will just give Dele one more season, and let's see what we can do with him. But let's just hope and pray, guys. That's really is with Dele. But who else? How much will we get from him? That's the problem. How much will we get with Dele Alli at the minute? 20 million, 25 million. The way he's playing at the minute, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's fuck all. Yeah. It's absolutely nothing. I mean, for someone like Dele Alli, I mean, you might as well keep him.
Yeah, I can get what you're saying. Just quickly, lads, one of you want to send on Will Stewart the link? Come on,
I'll do it.
Yeah, Simon, Dave, if you want to stick around, if you want to stick around, you have to go.
I'll go.
Will you send on Will the link?
I'll send them over the link now.
Jem, before you go, plug your channel and 151 people to plug it to.
Right, guys, you can catch me on Premier Hotspur TV, on Insta, Facebook, YouTube. I am a T away from 500, guys, so let's get me to 500, so that'd be great. So
no, look, come on, the power of the Harris Army. 30 years surely 30 years can get over there and give him the 30 subs he needs. And look, we're all Spurs fans here, so we all help each other out. So 30 years, get over there and subscribe to Premier Hotspur TV. Thank you, Simon.
Take care, Simon.
Thank you very much.
See you, Simon. See you, man. And we get rid of one and we bring in another. Will Stewart, how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm good.
You keeping well?
I'm good.
What do you make of but we'll get Alex's opinions now in a minute, but what do you make of Dele Alli's performance today, Will?
What performance?
Oh,
What did he do?
I think he just disappeared.
I guess he didn't like my answer. He had to run away.
I think it was the spirit of Dele Alli, mate. Spirit of Dele Alli's come onto the live and kicked him off.
No, I mean, was Dele like? Did he do anything that cost us the match? Absolutely not. But did he do anything that deserved a place on the team, especially for 78 minutes over, say, the likes of Ndombele or Lucas Moura? Hell no.
I don't know. So, Dele, do you know what with Dele? Because he peaked so early and he was right up here with his game, right? International, club, Champions League, smashing it all. Did it come to him a bit early? And this dip is natural. It happens.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm clutching at straws. I'm trying to make excuses, but I'm trying to look at the way he has exploded onto the scene from MK Dons. £5 million, done absolute bits. And then it's just gone downhill from there. I don't know whether it's a drop-off natural because it happens with players or whether he's just lost it. I don't know. I really don't know.
Look, I do think it's a classic case of getting too much too soon. But at the end of the day, you know, we as a club pay Dele Alli the amount of money we do to get performances on the pitch. You know, and this is my gripe with it. Like, we've already given the guy 2.5 years plus, you know, and now to come good. When do we just cut the umbilical cord and say, look, you know what I mean? You came in from NK Dons for $5 million. Grant, you know, you had some great times at Tottenham, but it's just not working out lately. When do we cut that umbilical cord? And we'll get Alex in on this because I know Alex is dying to come in and say his bit on Dele.
All I need to say is first 2 words: homegrown. That's all I need to say.
Oh, Alex, no,
homegrown player, and that's the Tottenham foreign player thing is a problem. So the foreign player thing needs to be sorted next season.
Yeah, but will be. We have Sessegnon coming back home.
Oh no, we've spoken about Sessegnon. We've spoken about Sessegnon. He's not ready. I told you already.
So we do have
you that Davis
so
needs to play left back, but we're not going to go there because we know what my
right, Alex. So look, this season
on Dele Alli.
Just 1 second. Coming into the homegrown thing, right? So I've already sorted that out because we have homegrown players coming back this season. So that's one excuse eliminated. So
no, it's not that. It's not that. It's that you don't understand the homegrown, mate. Honestly, you do not understand the homegrown.
No, come on, give me more excuses for Dele.
You don't understand the homegrown. Okay.
I do understand it.
No, you do not understand the homegrown thing. I'm telling you now. I know it. Unfortunately, you know it very, very, very well. So,
I just gave you examples of homegrown players. Skip this one. He came through the academy. What more homegrown do you need? There's not much more explanation, Alex.
That's the
case. Say you understand it and I don't. You know what I mean? There's not really any intellect into understanding it.
Oh gosh, David. Oh my gosh. Anyway, back on Dele Alli, the subject, right? It's a difficult one now. I would like him to stay, but possibly we might have to let him go. But depends on what happens in the summer. It depends what happens in the summer. We're a mess at the moment. So I think choices need to be, the manager situation needs to be sorted first and directions need to be made. And when I mean directions, I mean the pyramid, you know, the structure needs to be sorted. At the moment, there's no structure. You see what I'm saying? So we're going nowhere with this at the moment, Dele Alli and Winks and Skip and everyone else as well. So until we sort that structure, I don't think we can have a question what to do with Ali at the moment. On his performance today, it was a bit so-so. I've got to be honest. He was okay. He was energetic. I would say that. It looks like a guy that hasn't had enough football in a couple of games. I've got to be honest. But it's a very difficult one. Really, it depends on where we're going to go forward, and you know who's going to be the person that we're going to have to sell to get this rebuild going. But again, that depends on what direction we're going in, and we need to have a direction. We haven't got a direction at the moment. So that's my answer on Dele Alli.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Look, with Dele Alli, actually, I do think he was getting into the game more when they actually substituted them. So I did feel him for him in that respect. But look, just my opinion on it is, sorry, go on.
No, I mean, if homegrown is such a problem, why not sell Davies and get like Cresswell, Tarjay, or Justin in or something like that?
Okay, Davies is a foreign player over Europe because he's come from a Welsh academy. So, but in the Premier League, he's homegrown.
So why not just get one who can play in both? Why not get Cresswell, Tarjay, or Justin?
I mean, I think Davies is a good player. I'm sorry, I'm not having this. I mean,
Davies is better than Cresswell, Tarjay, or Justin.
No, I'm sorry, I'm not having it. Davies is a good player. Right, I've seen videos back, and he's a very good player. He's good. He's a good, solid left back. Right, that two managers have still got trust in him. He wasn't the second choice left back because, like, he did come in a season or two when Rose wasn't playing very well, was injured.
A season or two or 7.
Davies is a very good left back, and he's going to be here for next season. I can tell you that for a fact because Sessegnon's not ready. He's been playing too much left wing back for Germany. In Germany, so he's not ready at the moment. I still want him in the club, Sessegnon, because I think he's a very good player, but he still needs time to develop as far as I'm concerned. It depends on what coach we get in. To be honest with you. Again, and also I'm not convinced Reguilon's going to stay. I'm not convinced.
How many man of the matches has Cresswell won for Burnley this season?
I mean, I'm not talking about any other left backs at the moment because at the moment we don't even have a direction what we're going to do at the moment in terms of buying players. So we're thinking about the squad at the moment. I think Davies is a good player to have in our squad. And if we're talking about a squad, because that's what we have to do now. Our squads now. It's not about just the 11. We've got to think about the squad in general because they're all important at the end of the day. Happy squad, happy players. Happy squad, more success. Look at Leicester. So yeah, it's just for me that he's a good squad player. Things do need to move on. Players do need to move on. Lamela, that's a good point. Lamela does need to go.
Yeah. Look, Alex, that's for another day's show. That is for another day's show.
Yeah, true. But I mean, I don't want to go back on I don't want to go off the subject, but yeah, going on what we're saying already, Davis is a good player, and that's what I want to say anyway. Yeah.
Can I just ask why he thinks? Why do you think that Lamela needs to go, but Davies doesn't? Why should
Lamela's had too many injuries, and yeah, and also it's the foreign player thing as well for me.
But Davies is like a foreign player in Europe.
No, he's not a foreign player. He's not a foreign player in the Premier League though. He's a foreign player both in the.
But like Will said, if you're not convinced Reggie's going to go, do you think that Davies is realistically someone who's going to get us Champions League football and be a starting 11 player, or do you think that if Reggie's going to go, we would just get someone who can fill the quota for both, who is better than Davies?
It depends on what.
Because the thing is, it's not like Reggie can just go back to Madrid. We've got to sell him.
But what's the priority? What's the priority, Kieran, for the summer? What is the priority? Centre back. That is the priority.
Yeah, but with Sorkin and Sessegnon Sorkin's coming through the ranks. Sessegnon's coming back. That frees up Ben Davies.
You don't know, mate. You do not know. We have to see what happens in pre-season. Pre-season is the most important thing at the end of the day. Because, I mean, that's the thing what we used to have with Pochettino. Pochettino always had a thing about pre-season. Pre-season was so important for him because then he could implement his plans.
Pre-season is important for every team, let's be honest.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. It's so important. So we have to see what happens in pre-season. Pre-season, we'll see what players are used and whether they're going to come up or not. So we don't know what's going to happen until that time frame. So at the moment, we're looking at our squad. At the moment, I'm looking at Davis. I still think Reguilon might go because he should be in Champions League football this season because he won the Europa League last season, didn't he? So I don't know whether he wants to have another go at it, not playing in Europe next season. So, there's a lot of questions there. But again, we're going back on what direction we're going in, because we don't know what the manager is, don't we?
Yeah,
you see?
that's
So
true.
you see what I'm saying? So,
yeah. But look, another player I do want to talk about today is Son. You know, he did get a goal and assist today. It was nice to see him back with a smile on his face. You could see what that goal meant to him, the relief in his face, and it was good to see him back on the score sheet. Because let's be honest, he is a player that he has been a player that he's been poor of late. He has been poor of late. So I will go around the panel and give everyone let them have their say on Son as well. But we do have 160 people watching right now. Smash a like on the stream, subscribe on the channel, and also don't be afraid to get your super chats in. I really do appreciate them. They really do help the channel grow. And like that, look, get them in if you disagree with Alex on Ben Davies. You know what I mean? Let us know what you think. But look, Kira, what do you make of Son today? It was great to see relief in his face when he finally scored, wasn't it?
Look, I think all us Tottenham fans love Son, and it's always nice to see a smile on his face. I was a bit disappointed when that goal was given offside, because I thought what a ping that was by Toby. We know he's got that in the locker. He's shown it in the past. And I thought that was a great take by Son. So obviously when that was given offside, I was a bit disappointed. But yeah, he got on the score sheet again either way with another great finish. And yeah, look, to be honest, I just love seeing Son when he's happy. You know, because when you see Son happy, you know that's when he kind of starts getting into his form, kind of more on a weekly basis. And yeah, look, that to be honest, I think he was. People say that Ali. There's some people saying that Ali was great today. I think Son was better than Ali. Ali was good in patches. I think Son was a little bit more consistent throughout the whole game, personally. But maybe that's just a bit biased because I like Son.
Yeah, 100%. And Cenk, same to you one as well. Do you think Son will sign that contract?
Oh, well, apparently, according to reports, it's been on the table since September. So, it's getting a bit scary, isn't it, when he gets to the pre-season, the summer, and he's got less than 2 years, so his value's decreasing. You don't know what his situation's like. I don't know if he's going to sign, if he's not going to sign. I hope he signs, and I think fingers crossed he will sign, but it is a little bit worrying, isn't it, guys? And again, Son is a fantastic player. He's class. He really is a good player, but it's just the one thing. I think he's hit better heights this season. He really has. I think he's double digits in terms of numbers now, which I asked from him, and he's done that, so I can't complain. But I don't know what you guys think. Do you guys think he's a purple patch player?
Yeah, for me, it is looking like that. But look, he has been so influential over time. It's like when Kane doesn't, when Kane's not there or Kane doesn't perform, he kind of picks up that slack. You know, him and Kane do complement each other perfectly. But even when he was going through a bit of a bad patch, he was still getting the odd assist in that here and there. But I go along the lines with that, Cenk. What does everyone else think? Do you think Son's a purple patch player? Good question, man.
To be honest, I would agree. I think that's the big thing with Son. You know, like he will have these kind of few games where he'll go on runs, and then it seems like he'll have like a couple of games where he doesn't get anything. He looks a bit frustrated for a few games, and then all it takes is for him to score a goal, and then he'll have a good few games again. I think I think he does go through patches throughout the season, but I think he does go through patches through the season. I think he does, to be honest.
By the way,
I still rate him.
Yeah,
I still have him starting 11.
Purple patch player doesn't mean he's bad at all. I mean,
just goes in and out of
in
sometimes fades in and out. Yeah.
I would have to disagree. I would say if you looked at the games, Kane has had just as many purple patches, regardless of him being injured or not injured this season as Son has.
But every season,
match for match.
But every season, though.
When was the last time that we had a player that scored over 12 goals a season? That's a pretty good purple patch.
Yeah,
no, but I'm not necessarily. I'm just saying because obviously you're comparing him to Kane, but I'm saying I think Son kind of goes through that phase every season. He kind of has dips in and out. Like we see him and we're talking about him how good he is.
Who would you call Mane a purple patch player?
This season he's gone through a bit of a purple patch.
Yeah.
But
he's been a brown patch this season. But normally, would you call him a purple patch player?
To be honest, I don't know.
Because he's not near as
last season I wouldn't
consistent.
have called him, but this season 100%.
Well, even
last season I wouldn't have. So
even last season though, there was probably 4. Cause I play FPL a lot, so I pay attention to a lot of like 4 and 5 game leads or XG or goals scored or returns during a 4 to 5, 6 game week series. And Mane was far more inconsistent. What happened with Mane is he would come in and he would get 2 goals and an assist in one game, and then go 2 or 3, 4 matches without anything, and then another 2 or 3 goal returns in another match, and then that's how he pulled in his things. He's very, very keen to having 2 to 3 matches without a goal.
But do you also think that if you look at it, like in that Liverpool team, they've also got other players that will pitch in
Salah,
with the goal.
really.
Well, Firmino last season.
Firmino last season, I don't even think broke double digits. If he did, it was just barely 10.
Yeah, but even in assists, he'll come in and bring other players into the game.
Sure.
Goals, look.
Like, I mean, Son's always getting. He doesn't go more than 2 goals per season or 2 game weeks per season without getting a return, an attacking return. He may not score goals, but he's getting assists.
Just to clarify, I'm not saying I think Son's a bad player or anything. I just think he goes through.
I don't think he's that big of a purple patch player, though. To be honest with you.
Well, what I was going to say is I don't think his purple patches, or these little like few games here and there that maybe I still think he helps the team when he's playing, even if it's not goals or assists. I still think he contributes something to the team. So if you're talking about purple patches in terms of consistently getting goals week in, week out, well, I mean, like, I suppose, do you really expect any player to consistently get goals week in, week out every week? Every player is going to have 1 or 2 games.
He's not a striker either, right? He's a winger.
Yeah.
So wingers aren't necessarily getting as many shots in the box as strikers are. I think it's a little bit of a high expectation.
Yeah.
That people are placing on Son's shoulders, because right now, as far as wingers are concerned, I guess if you classify Salah as a winger, he's got more goals, but Son is 3rd in goals and 4th in assists this season. So there's not a better winger in the league, to be honest with you. More well-rounded.
Son's had a great season this season, and not to knock that at all. I think he's been amazing this season. I think actually, I think goals and assists, he's got like 24 goals and assists this season, like in the Premier League or something, which is insane numbers. I think there was a patch in the season
26.
though where 26. So, yeah,
26
I think which is amazing numbers. I think that's like 3rd best in the Premier League, if not 2nd.
Yeah.
Total attacking returns, he is 1 away from Bruno Fernandes. And then you have Harry Kane.
He's 3rd in the league. So yeah, massive numbers this season.
Just quickly there, lads. Welcome Nigel Gates to the membership. Big up, Nigel Gates. Welcome to the Harris Hammer, my man. How are you keeping? I remember your name over from We Are Tottenham TV earlier. Big yourself up. Everybody, look, don't be afraid to get your super chats in, whether you agree, disagree with the panel. Like I said, it really does help this channel of massive content coming next season as well. So you want to be a part of it. And look, the super chats, it really does mean so much to us YouTubers. So don't be afraid to get them in. But Alex, what do you make on Sonny? And then after that, I want to talk about a few other things before we do end off the stream.
I think he's just knackered, to be honest with you. I think he's just absolutely knackered. He's been... I don't think Kieran's actually saying anything bad about him. I just think he's just analysing his own performance, really, today. And, I mean, maybe it's, again, confidence with him. On the contract with him, just going off the game, but I from what I'm hearing, it's not really a worry about him signing that contract. I'm surprised about it because, for me, I think, he should take the opportunity and go off to Real Madrid or Barcelona, for me, because it's a no-brainer for Real Madrid or Barcelona. The amount of money you can make in shirt sales is incredible, really, for those sort of clubs. But from what I'm hearing, he seems to be wanting to, he's going to sign that contract, which to me is going to be brilliant for Tottenham, if I'm really honest.
Well, what do you make on what Nigel says here, Alex? He says, big up Nigel for the super chat as well, by the way. My man, what a legend. Really do appreciate it. He says, Son signing on the new contract depends on the manager, he believes. What do you make of that?
I can believe in that. But yeah, I've already said what I've said about the search at the moment. I've already said. But, you know, from what I'm hearing, that contract will be signed at the end of the season.
Yeah.
It will be signed at the end of the season. I wouldn't be surprised it wouldn't be, because for me, Son should be at Real Madrid, Barcelona, or Bayern Munich. He could easily go there because he's not got any ties here. Unlike Kane, who's got a young family, for me, and he's homegrown, I think he's got more reason to stay in England than Son has. But you know, but yeah, again, it's just lots of upheaval in the club at the moment, because, like I said, we haven't got a clue about what manager we're going to get. Can you agree with me or disagree with me? Do you know what manager we're going to get? I don't know.
No one does.
I've already made my choice of what I want anyway, just by the fact who's looking for the manager.
Yeah.
So they do need to make decisions on it. If we do sell Son, we do need to invest better. But again, I don't trust Steve. We need to get Steve Hitchen out to make those decisions. I'm not happy with him making those decisions. I am definitely not happy in making those decisions.
100%.
Especially who mucked up that Skriniar deal and couldn't get the right Fernandes. No way, I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm sorry to go off the subject, but yes.
No. Don't worry, Alex. Man, I love listening to you. You know that, whether I agree or disagree, man. I love listening to you, man. And there's that smile we all love. Big up, Alex. But look, another player I do want to get everybody's thoughts on quickly is no Ndombele today. No Ndombele again today. What do you make of that, Kieran? What is going on with this situation here? Some people are saying he hasn't played because he's fast and this, that, and the other. What do you make of it?
Obviously, I'm not sure. I won't take Will's theory, but I think Will's theory has a lot of substance behind it. Maybe there is like other factors playing in it. To be honest, like I don't know what's going on, because the thing is, if it's fast and he's still on the bench, why is he not being given any time at all? You know, like, you know, you've seen Aurier took a break. You know, they could eat and whatnot. So it's not like he's starved throughout the whole match. He couldn't have got any nutrition at all, because he could have. And I just don't understand why he's not getting any minutes at all. I'm not going. Like I said, I'm not going to take Will's theory, because I think he'll probably explain it best. But I think there is probably a lot of substance behind that, and I'd say maybe there's something to it.
Yeah, 100%. And just quickly, Aglaya Kakaratis says, David, get me and Sue Smith on your channel. Look, 100%. Just message me on Twitter if you want. If you still want to come on at some stage, I have no problem letting you on. So just send me a message on Twitter. But Cenk, my man, what do you think on Ndombele? What do you think is going on with this situation at the minute? Because didn't see him in the cup final, didn't get a minute, and no Ndombele again today.
I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why Mason don't like him, because he's a fantastic player, and it always seems to happen with Ndombele, doesn't it? When a new manager sort of comes in, he's always in and out, and I don't know why, because he's fantastic. And maybe there's something behind the scenes. I don't know. Maybe it's training, maybe it's his application, attitude. I don't know. I don't see any issues with him. I think he's fantastic. I don't know, and I was baffled as to why he didn't play today. And I think if that was Jose that didn't choose him today, we would be absolutely slating him. So yeah, I don't get why we should have different energy. I think it was poor from Mason not to play him and not to even give him 10 minutes. Why put on Winks instead of him? Unless it's Daniel Levy pulling the strings and telling him to put him in the shop window.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But to be honest with you, I'd probably go along with what do you make of this, Cenk? So I go along with the lines of that it's Daniel Levy putting him in the shop window, because for me, there's no surprise that City were rumoured to want Harry Winks last summer. All of a sudden, he appears back in the squad for a cup final without doing anything to warrant it.
Completely baffles me. I don't know.
I just saw Cody's comment. That's why I laughed.
Yeah, I was thinking. I thought he was laughing it up. I was like, "What?" You got to pull it up.
But yeah, Will, do you want to give everyone your theory on Ndombele?
Well, it is mental. No, I don't. Like I said yesterday, if you don't see him start today, if you don't see him play at all today, then I'm convinced that that's what happened. After being subbed off against Southampton, they got into a spat, and Billy does not respect Ryan Mason as a manager. They've had words. That's why he didn't play in the final. Not really he didn't even give up warm up. Like we saw Lucas and Bergwijn get up and start running around on the pitch. Other people too. Get up and Billy sat there the whole time, never even got up. It's like he knew he wasn't playing. Putting Harry Winks to sell on why? Why? He hasn't done anything. I think if you're putting Winks on the pitch in order to hope that he has a good appearance so that we can sell him on in the summer, I think you're making the situation worse. Every time he gets on the pitch, his price drops 20 pounds. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a man management issue going on there between him and Ryan Mason. There has to be. Lucas too. Why is Lucas not getting a look? What has Lucas done wrong? Tell me, Lucas Moore is lazy on the training pitch. Is that what you're telling me? I find that hard to believe. Yeah. That hasn't been the case. He's been one of the hardest workers. You want to talk about hard work? Everybody likes to go on Lamela. The reason why you should keep Lamela is because he's a hard worker. You want to keep Lucas Moore. You're telling me Lucas Moore doesn't work as hard as Dele Alli, or doesn't work as hard as Giovanni Lo Celso, or doesn't work as hard as all of these other people? I don't believe that for a second. There's no reason why Dele Alli should be starting over Lucas Moore in that 10 spot. Zero footballing reason.
Yeah, 100%. I'd agree with that. I'd actually get the two boys up their opinion on Lucas in a minute as well. But Alex, what do you make on Ndombele? What's the story? What's the situation?
I need to end this rubbish that we're hearing right now. Sorry, no disrespect, but firstly, you've got Ndombele, you've got Lo Celso, you've got Ali. They're all the same players. Okay, you can only fit two of them in the squad. The whole thing with Winks, I think it's an agenda. I'm sorry, I've had enough of it. Right?
No, it's Harry Stinks.
No, it's agenda.
It's Harry Stinks, Alex.
It's agenda. It's an agenda. It's an agenda.
Harry Winks.
I'm not having it.
No, you're in denial. You're in denial, Alex.
It's an agenda. Moving on. I need to have my.
You're in denial.
No, sorry, I'm not. I'm going to carry on now. That's it. Okay, right. You can't fit in all three of them in the squad. Okay, in that team. Okay, you either have two of them. Okay, or one of them. Okay. Now you've got one spot there with Højbjerg in defensive midfield. You have to have somebody next to him. Okay. He feels Lo Celso fits well at the moment. Either have Ndombele or you have Lo Celso there. Ali either plays number 10. Okay. And that's it. Okay, at the moment. So unfortunately, he doesn't fit in the team at the moment. So it's nothing to do with the fact that he's had a bit of a falling out. We're talking about a 29-year-old that was taking.
Alex, he was fitting in the team beforehand.
No, I'm sorry. We're talking about. Let me finish my point. A 29-year-old, right, that was hired by Levy because he sacked Jose, which was a stupid mistake, and because he panicked. Okay, sorry. Let's leave it on. Let's leave it. Let's just leave it, okay? Because he's a good. You've got to give him, give him a bit of leeway here. You know what I mean? It's not his fault. Levy's made that decision. It's a stupid decision and putting him in charge of this team at the moment. Okay, he doesn't speak for Levy. I mean, for goodness' sake, he's a 29-year-old. What is this? Honestly, rubbish. So,
what's rubbish about it?
I've heard the rubbish people saying, "Oh, I don't like his press conferences. He speaks too generic." What is he supposed to say? He's a 29-year-old.
I've never said that. I could care less about his press conferences.
No, but some people have said it. I've heard people say it. Oh, I don't like his interviews because what is he supposed to say? Oh, he's messed up. I mean, for goodness' sake, honestly, please. I mean, it's not his fault that he's made the stupid decision sacking Jose a week before the cup final.
But it is his fault he played Harry Winks for 90 minutes in the cup final.
I don't blame.
I'm saying that I'm not even a Jose fan.
I don't mind playing Ryan Mason taking the job. Right? Who wouldn't take the job?
Yeah.
But he is 100% responsible for the choices he makes after he takes that job.
Well, he's 100%.
He's 100% responsible for the substitutions. Was Daniel Levy on the side of the pitch making substitutions? for the
He's
cup
not an
final?
experienced manager. He's not
It
an
doesn't-
experienced manager.
I'm smart enough to know you don't bring us
Oh, really,
Sissoko in the
mate?
middle
Come
of a
on
school.
now, man. Come on, stop cutting
Seriously,
straws,
my
mate.
13-year-old son comes up to me, Dad, why is Lucas Moura going off the pitch? He's the best player on the pitch. So you're telling me that my 13-year-old son knows more about players and who could impact the match
on the
better
Lucas
than
Moura-
Ryan Mason?
And the Lucas Moura thing, by the way, Lucas Moura, all he can play is in the middle. He can't play on that right. Okay,
Yeah,
I would
10.
I would say, agreed. But I would say, if you get an offer for him in the summer, sell him. Simple as that. Sell him. And I'm not being harsh on the bloke. Pardon?
But keep Dele Alli. How many times did Dele Alli lose possession today?
I'm going to be honest. If you can get money for Moira, I'll sell him. I'll be honest with you. And I'm being honest with you. But then it depends on what manager we're going to get. Again, we go back to that thing. But I'm sorry. On this thing about criticising Mason because of what he says in interviews and stuff like that, he's too generic.
No,
or he makes mistakes and stuff like that.
No.
What are you expecting from
You're
a
making
29-year-old?
something out of nothing because nobody said that
What are
here.
you expecting from a 29-year-old?
I'm expecting a 29-year-old to actually do what he thinks is best on the pitch and stop playing his mates or stop doing what Daniel Levy asked him to do. I expect him to do his job.
I mean, I think that's absolutely rubbish.
Can I just interject? Can I just interject? Yeah. Right. You're saying he's 29, but basically what you're saying is, if you're saying he can't have any responsibility for the subs that he's made, you're saying he's incompetent and he can't manage the team.
Yep.
Because you're saying he's not smart enough to make the right substitutes, so he shouldn't be in charge at all. There's no way.
I think we're going over a little bit over the top there. I think the first thing, again, as I said, I'll go back on the point. It's not his fault. He was given a job after a stupid decision from Daniel Levy. So he's trying to make the best out of the situation. Now, he's going around his own philosophy at the moment, okay? We can't really judge him on these games that he's doing at the moment, okay? He's making do what's going on at the moment, unfortunately, okay? That's why I'm saying we can't really judge it if he does well in those games that are left or does badly in those games that we do left. Because at the end of the day, he's doomed if he does, and he's doomed if he doesn't, as far as I'm concerned. So
so let me ask you a question. Since you asked me one, I'm going to ask you a question. Okay, name one Spurs fan who thought that subbing Lucas Moura off in the cup final was a good idea.
No one thinks it's a good idea. No.
Okay, so then why does Ryan Mason think it's a good idea?
Okay, but that's his decision.
Okay, so am I not allowed to call him out on that? I could care less about his press conferences. I could care less. I'm holding him accountable for his decisions. Do you want me, David? Should I use the analogy I used last night on my stream?
Yeah, okay.
If you're walking down the street and you decide to take a hooker home with you and you end up with chlamydia in the morning, is that your fault or is that the prostitute's fault?
I'm not going to get into that conversation.
It's your fault because you made the choice.
I'm not getting into that conversation.
It's a simple answer.
You're going to get Alex in trouble with his missus.
I'm going to change the thing now. I'm not going to get into that conversation.
You, my friend, you're calling my opinion rubbish, which is fine. I have thick skin. I can handle it. But then when someone challenges you, you just want to sit there and throw out ideas with nothing behind them. Paper men up here, right? Ryan Mason took the job. And then he made those substitutions. He's picking the starting lineup. And if he's not, then he's just a puppet for Levy, and he should say that, right? You can't.
No,
you're responsible.
That, I'm sorry.
So you're saying he's a puppet for Levy?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, so then he's responsible. So then he's responsible for his lineups, for his substitutions.
Alex is smiling. He's on the wind up.
He's not a puppet for Daniel Levy. He's not a puppet for Daniel Levy, but he's not responsible for his substitutions and lineups.
So this is the thing as well.
Circular reasoning. Your argument has no logical basis whatsoever.
Right, lads. Let's let Kieran and Shane in as well. If be quiet, let's let them have an opinion, and then you guys can go back at it.
The thing is, Alex, if you're saying that Mason can't have any criticism for the choices he's making, that means we can't praise him for any of the choices he's making. You can't have it one way or the other. You can't say to him, oh my God, brilliant substitution by Mason. That sub that he's made has changed the game and that's helped us go on and win it. But then say, if he makes a bad sub, you go, well, you can't judge him for that bad sub. It's not really his fault. No, he's the one who's made that decision. I'm not asking for him to go out and win the league in the remaining games. I know he can't, but I'm not asking for to go out and do that. I don't really care how he's in his interviews because I know, look, he is young, like you've said. He's inexperienced. So all he's coming out and doing in his press is just giving generic answers that don't cause any controversy. That's all he's doing in the press conference. Some people don't like that. Personally, I couldn't care less. The thing is, he's still in charge of selecting that team and making changes. So I'm not saying that I have anything against Ryan Mason, but I'm saying if he makes a bad decision, that is his bad decision. That is his decision that has impacted the team in a negative way. So you can't say if he made a bad sub, oh well, you can't blame him because it's not his fault that we've sacked Mourinho. So don't blame him for that bad sub. Well, if that's the mindset you're going into it with, then if he makes a sub that impacts the game really well, don't give him credit for it. Because if you're not going to give him flack when he makes a bad decision,
what I'm saying is
he's
got a free hit. Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's got a free hit, and at the end of the day, we can judge him what decision.
Why does he get a free hit?
Because he gets a free hit because, like I said, it's
why? Because he's English.
Where it's a shoot. No,
because he's 29.
I'm not gonna get into that.
Why does he get a free hit?
But I say he gets a free hit because he's been put in an impossible position.
He took it.
Okay. Well, would you take it if you offered it, mate?
Yeah, but I wouldn't have subbed Lucas more often than the Carabao Cup final.
Okay, we can go on about the past, mate, but at the end of the day, we're going into the future. And at the end of the day,
you just asked him about that. You just asked him.
No. Let me finish now because we're going on a little bit too much now. Right, okay. As I said, okay, yes, he made mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes at the end of the day. You can say it's a bad decision, but we can't always just say, they bast him and say, he's terrible in this and this. What do you expect?
3 games in a row with bad decisions, and I can't.
What did you expect with Mason in charge, though? What did you expect?
Him to be a little bit smarter than pulling off the best player, the highest statistical ranking player off the pitch in the middle of a cup final. That's what I would expect.
He had a different way of thinking about it.
Let's let Jenkins in here for a second, lads. Let's let Jenkins in.
I said it was a wrong decision. Yes, it was the wrong decision. But let's be honest here, okay? What do you expect from Mason at the moment? Look,
Jenkins, what I expect.
Jenkins answer that question.
What I expect.
I don't need to say
Stop playing Football Manager and actually watch what's going on the pitch.
Lads, 1 second. Let's let Jenk have a say. He's been very patiently quiet there, but this is entertaining. But Jenk, I want you to have your say on that.
Let's get to the truth of it. Let's get to the bottom of it. Ryan Mason is a yes man. Would you guys all agree?
100,000%.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line of it. I don't expect anything major from him. I think Chris Powell or Ledley King were more qualified for the job than him, to be honest. I don't think he should be in the job. Daniel Levy's chucked him in the deep end. And we're here now arguing over debating over substitutions when he's not qualified for the job and shouldn't be here. Bottom line.
But if he is a yes man, then you got to call him out for being a yes man. You can't just give him a free pass just because, oh man, he's no good, so we just got to give him a free pass. That's BS.
100%.
What do you expect?
He's a yes man.
What do you expect?
Cody Mack has a question here for you, Alex.
Just agree with Alex. Just agree with Alex and move on.
Cody Mack wants to know, who do you hold responsible if not Mason?
Pardon? Say it again.
Cody Mack wants to know, who do you find responsible if not Mason?
Listen, okay, I say, okay, maybe I should change it like this. He's responsible for his decision, yes, but I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna put it to him because at the end of the day, he's been put in an impossible position. We need to look at the future at the end of the day. I think the season's over, in my opinion. So to be honest with you, these last remaining games, I'm not really that bothered about it. Like I said at the beginning. I think we just need to figure out what we're going to do in the future. That's the main thing at the moment for us, and that's it. So if we do win all our remaining games, fantastic. If we get into Europa League, fantastic. And that's it. So you can see that I didn't mention Champions League because I thought that was over after West Ham, and we're not going to get over 70 points. So let's be honest here. So that's done and dusted already. So let's move on.
Right.
Can I just respond to that quickly? Right. I'm not sitting here with his choices saying Mason out. Oh, that's it. He's made terrible choices. Get him out already. Let him have until we get a new manager, whatever. But I'm just saying, I'm not saying let's all get on his back because he made a bad decision. But I'm saying you can still judge those bad decisions and say they were bad decisions. You can't just ignore his decisions completely just because he's a young manager and he's been put.
But I do believe Alex defending Mason the way he is exactly why Levy employed Mason to try to get people to find it hard to criticise the guy. But just quickly, we do have a super chat here from Vam Shitty. He says Mason was responsible for bad performance with bad selection, bad substitutions. If Jose had done that, he would have been on the first page in the media.
100%.
On the first page in the media. And
but Van Shitty, I did. Sorry if I said that wrong. I didn't mean that by the way. Van,
no. It's Vam Shitty is his name.
Yeah. I'll say Van just so it doesn't come out wrong. We all discussed this already. It's Daniel Levy's fault because he sat Jose before the cup final. So this was his incredible, strategy.
Am I allowed to be honest
not
here?
Have a manager in place already, and we still haven't got idea what we're going to do.
David, am I allowed to be honest here?
Yeah, 1 second before you get honest, I just want to say thank you so much to Vam Shitty for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Lads, everyone is loving Alex and Will having a go at each other. Will, I'm going to let you be honest, and then what I do want to do is ask the two boys up here about top four and about the Lo Celso injury. And then after that, I'm willing to stay on and just let you two have a conversation. I don't know whether the guys will want to stay on or not either. It is getting late. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, go ahead, Will.
No, I have a question. So when Jose was here and you didn't like it, you blamed him at every possible opportunity for any mistake, whether it was his fault or not, whether it was Levy pushing him to do something. You held Jose responsible. But Ryan Mason just gets a free pass. Don't you think that's a little bit hypocritical?
Okay, right. You're talking about someone that's very, very experienced. Okay. And also, to my, I don't know whether you've watched me on stream before.
Oh, many times.
I've said in the past, okay, I don't like Jose, I don't like him, I don't like his ways, but if we've got no one to replace him, just keep him. And if he's gonna keep him in the summer, keep him in the summer. I know there's gonna be casualties. Dele Alli, most of the squad gonna have to go. Because you can see, it's not going to work, isn't it? I couldn't see us sacking him. But now we sacked him, I think we're worse, to be honest with you. I think we're in a worse position. So, work that one out. Even though
I'm not saying we should sack Mason tomorrow. I'm just holding him responsible for his choices.
Oh, no, I agree with you. But the thing is, though, I'm not gonna give him a hard time. I'm not giving him a hard time.
I'm just calling a spade, right? That's all I'm doing. I'm if he does a bad job, I'm gonna say you did a bad job, right? If you're not a smart football manager, I'm gonna say you're not a smart football manager. Right?
No, I know, but I'm just saying to you that yes, he's made some mistakes, but I'm not gonna give him a hard time because, as far as I'm concerned, the situation is that.
But you're giving Levy what he wants by doing that.
I, honestly, at the moment, I'm not happy with Levy at all. So I'm not giving what Levy wants at all, to be honest with you. I've already told you what my thoughts are already. So I've given him a very hard time.
But you are.
So, pardon?
But you are, because we want change. We want players like Winks and other people replaced. But then when Mason brings them on the pitch, you're going, well, no, you can't criticise Winks coming on.
No, because Winks is a good player, though.
No, he's not, Alex. He's not. I'm not. Sorry, Alex.
Winks is
a good player.
Harry Stinks is not good enough. He does absolutely nothing for Tottenham. When he plays, we get overrun against City. Hang on. No, let me speak, Alex. I've been listening to you for the last 20 minutes. Let me speak for a minute. No, let me speak for a minute. Harry Winks. The reason why nobody could criticise Harry Winks in the cup final is because he didn't get on the ball to be criticised, and he didn't do anything off the ball to be criticised. Harry Winks has been here, I don't know how long. He's living off the Real Madrid performance, and that's it. Mr. Sideways. He's just all he is. The only reason why he played the cup final is because he's Ryan Mason's friend. Harry Winks, he can't play forward. In fact, he's not adventurous at all. I'd say his missus gets him out of him because he's not adventurous. He's just not. At the end of the day, the guy offers nothing. He walks around with this stuff like I'm Mr. Tottenham, this, that, and the other, but doesn't do anything.
You've got to get gender against Winks. I'm sorry.
No, I don't have an agenda. I'm just waking people up to realise that Winks isn't good enough.
So what is Harry Winks
You're
good
the
at?
only person left on this planet saying Winks is a good player.
Who's going to replace him at the moment? Who's going to replace him? Tell me who's going to replace him.
And Dumbelly.
Well, Skip is coming in the summer. There's your replacement. He's better than Harry Winks already.
What is Winks good at? Name one thing Winks is good at.
He can keep the play going, so I think he's very good.
What do you mean by keeping the play going? You got to be a little bit more specific. You got to be more specific than keeping the play going. What does that mean? He picks up the ball and runs around the pitch. What does it mean? Keeping the play going.
No, the good Kieran. Honestly,
like dribbles, possession.
But he's got some good play in him. I would say that.
I do know what he excels at. You're just generating. I want to pinpoint you down. I want to pinpoint you down
objective.
Here. Yeah, I want to pinpoint you down. What does Winks excel at? None of this. He does in generalization. Tell me exactly what he excels at.
Do that. So I'm sorry. I think he's a good player, man. I'm sorry.
No, but why? Yes, I'm asking you why. I want to pin you for answers. You're just giving us generalization answers.
Yeah,
I want to pin you down for an answer. I want to know exactly what Winks excels at.
He excels in passing. That's what I said to you.
Oh, he does not. Okay, so there we are. And Alex can't even give me an answer, so it just proves Winks is not good enough. But moving on.
So you think wait, hold on. You think 86% passing accuracy is a good number for a defensive midfielder or number 8?
But let me just make my point on this one though with Skip. Okay, I do think Skip might be something that might have to. He will override him next season. I will say that. But again, that depends on what happens next season. It will depends on what happens next season. I've got to say that. But I'm sorry, but Winks is a good player. Maybe I can't really describe what you want to hear, but I think he's a good player. He'll go to another club.
So just say it's an opinion. Don't say it's a fact.
Like a very good player.
Say my opinion is he's a good player. Don't say he is a good player. Right? One is a claim. The other one is an opinion. Right? One's an assertion. One's an opinion. If it's your opinion, I'll agree with you.
Because if you're going to start the claim thing, mate, we're gonna have a debate, really strong debate. If you're going to go there, go down that.
I'm game, buddy.
I'll tell you what, lads.
You're going to get a debate here.
What I do want to do, just quickly, is I do want to get these two boys up here opinions, and after that, if they want to shoot off, they can. Or if they want to stick around, because I find this pure entertainment, so I'm willing to sit here and watch this. But first of all, Colin Lumsden says, with players with pace around him, Bale would be excellent. Yeah, that's a fair point, Colin. Absolutely love that, my man, and I do appreciate the super chat, man. I'd fully agree with that. That's a good comment. So, look, we will get to Kieran and Cenk there quickly. Top 4, Kieran, do you think it's still possible?
I just want to say, by the way, I wasn't just laughing at you, Alex. I was laughing at a lot of the comments that are coming through. About Winks. I started laughing, and then as soon as I kept seeing them, I just kept laughing again. So it wasn't just.
Oh, don't worry, Kieran.
You, but in respect, I think
Alex knows this. Don't worry about Alex. Alex loves this. This is him in his
like
prime,
Alex,
man. He loves it.
Yeah, I do like Alex.
Because I'm holding your feet to the fire that I don't like you.
I like Alex, and like David said, he's got an infectious smile. Look at him in the bottom corner, even a smile. It's infectious. You can't not like him with that smile. But the one thing that just made me laugh was when you said he keeps the play going. It's like saying he can kick a ball, like he can pass. You know what I mean? Like it's not much of an argument. But top 4, look, mathematically it's possible, but if I'm being really, really optimistic, we can still make it because it's mathematically possible, but in all reality, probably not, because the thing is, we need other teams to drop points. It's not just a case of, if we win our game, if we've got games in hand, and if we win them, we'll overtake a team. Now, there's other teams that we're either on level games or they've got a game in hand that are points above us that we've got to hope drop points. So it's not just a case of can we play well and get top 4. It's a case of can we play well, win our remaining games to put ourselves in the best position possible and hope that these other teams drop points. Yeah.
Well, just on the teams, Leicester still have Chelsea and Man United left to play, plus Newcastle and us. So I do expect them probably to maybe lose against Chelsea and hopefully against United. Chelsea, they have Arsenal, Leicester and Man City left to play. So there is potential for these teams to drop points. What do you make on that, Cenk? Do you top 4, do you think it's achievable on the basis of some of these teams' games left?
a lot of things are achievable with Spurs, but we don't achieve them. So
Yeah.
I think we'll get Europa, to be honest. I think 5th is realistic. We're not consistent enough at all. Not consistent enough. And we've got some tough games. Leeds, Villa and Leicester as well. Tough games. I think the last game of the season is crucial. That's going to be massive. That could be the decisive point between Champions League and Europa League for me. So yeah, I think it's more Europa than Champions League, but it could go down to the last game. Honestly,
Yeah,
a lot of the other teams
that's what
play
I'm
each other,
expecting it to do, Jank. I'm expecting us to win these 3 games. Hopefully, Leicester. I'm thinking the Leicester spot for me is the one where we'll get. I think Chelsea probably will get top 4. What do you think?
Chelsea look better than Leicester at the moment. Leicester seem a little bit rocky as well. So there's that point there, but Spurs, they always let us down, don't they? So don't get your hopes up, boys. Please don't. It just doesn't end well at all. But yeah, I don't know. We couldn't get top 4, by the way. It's totally doable. But Spurs don't do the doable. We'd like to make it tough for ourselves. So that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, no, that's 100%. Look, it could be a case, Jank, where we get it to we win our next 3 games, we go into an all or nothing with Leicester and end up bottling it. That's probably what will happen knowing Tottenham.
Probably.
And come here, what do you make on the stamp on the Celso's head today by John Fleck? How was that not sending off?
So is that?
The stamp on the Celso's head by John Fleck today. How was that not sending off?
That was 110% a sending off. How is he not? It's gone to VAR as well. Absolute joke, man. Honestly, literally stamped on his head. Looked down and stamped on his head.
Yeah,
I don't know how he's. How? I don't
looking down. There's your intent right there, man.
All day, red card all day. Should have been off the pitch and was laughing as well after.
100%. But look, Kieran and Jank, do you want to stay around and watch Alex and Will go at it, or what do you want to do?
I'm all for it if they're willing to.
Yeah, Jank.
Yeah, I might as well stay and have a listen.
No worries. Anytime you want to do, don't pop off without promoting your channel, man. Vam Shitty says, don't get too excited with Bale's performance today. He did nothing in the final. I want to see his performance in coming matches. He is not consistent. Yeah, that's fair enough. But we were saying he does have the best stats out of all the right wingers this season with half the amount of game time. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from, Van Shitty. But Alex and Will, just take it away. Go back to wherever you were. Will, have you anything to say, Alex?
Well, yeah, no. I'm just confused as to why you're so willing to argue against somebody else's point if all you have to back it up is your opinion, right? Why not just say, hey, my opinion is I like them, and then boom, it's not. Why do you gotta tell people like they're rubbish or something like that? I'm a little confused as to how you can so strongly assert something but have nothing to back it up other than he keeps the play going.
Listen, I think Winks is not a bad player. He can fit into other teams, and you'll be sound. I mean, foreign teams are after him as well. I admit Skip is ahead of him, but again, I do think Skip is not just going to go straight into the team and fit in, especially a team that is just very, very messy at the moment, doesn't know what's going on at the moment in terms of what's going on with the manager and the strategy. So I think unfortunately, Winks' game's been hasn't been helped by the fact that he's had 2 managers that have been 2 different sides of play, really. So he's been told to be this defensive midfielder, and I think he's just felt lost in the team somehow. And he doesn't know him. He's lost his identity. Let's just say. So, but in saying that, yeah, I do admit that, yeah, he hasn't been great this season. No, but I think there are. I know he is still a good player in my opinion. He can fit into any other team in the bottom half, maybe in the mid-table side either as well. I know that people will say, "Oh, you want somebody who can fit into a top 4 team, top 5 team, top 6 team, not a top 5 team." Okay, so
A few people in the chat, Alex, was wondering would Harry Winks get into the Barnet team?
Well, I think that's a bit harsh.
I'm just saying what the chat is saying. What do you think?
I think that's a very. He obviously would get into the Barnet team. So
what
that's a bit harsh.
So which do you see Harry Winks as being like more of an attacking player or more of a defensive mid? What do you see him as? Like a straight line base?
Well, I
like
think he could be essential. I think he's more central midfielder for me. That spreads
like an
play a lot. Yeah, something like that.
Like
I think that's it for me. Yeah.
So do you think of it as being more offensive or more defensive? What do you think is the biggest role for the team?
I think it's a bit mixture really, whether he's offensive or defensive. I think for me, but again, I can see people's criticism of him. I can see it. I think people do have an agenda against him a lot.
Why would I have an agenda against Harry Winks? What reason do I have to have an agenda?
Well, because I think people get frustrated because of the team in general. So they look at individuals and they say, what does he do in the team? But I would come to his defence that sometimes up front, there's no movement up front. So where is he going to pass it to? I had the same argument with Dyer when he was in midfield. I was going to Tottenham games and I was watching Tottenham.
Alex, have you seen some of the runs that Son has made this season and that Kane have made this season? And the runs in behind. To say that he doesn't get enough movement up front, like, I really don't understand it, because with Kane's goals and assists, Son's goals and assists, surely that does show we do have movement up front. So I do think you are genuinely making an excuse there for Harry Winks.
I mean, as I said, I think he's still a good player for me, and I think he gets a bit of a hard rap. I think I do think, granted, he might have to leave next season in the summer. I do think that, but it depends again about the manager again. So,
So what side do you think Harry Winks? What team do you think Harry Winks would perform well?
I mean, I think he could fit into like an Everton or a Wolves, a mid-table team, maybe possibly.
They're not even top six teams.
Pardon?
They're not even like Europa League teams.
Well, we're not a Europa League team at the moment, are we?
No, but
we're fifth right now.
Yeah, we're in Europa League spots at the moment. We got in at this season.
The
correction. Champions League.
You forget the Conference League now, mate. They're not in sixth place is Conference League now. So, sixth
place is only Conference League if one of the slots goes to somebody else from a cup win.
Well, but
if Chelsea wins,
what happens there then, doesn't it? So
if Chelsea wins the cup, sixth place is Europa League.
Cody Mack wants to know Alex, what you think Winks' best performance was this season.
Pardon? So what did Dave say?
Cody Mack wants to know what do you think Winks' best performance was this season.
Yeah, that's a good question. He hasn't been performing very well, no. But there's been lots of disruption in the team over the season. So yes, over this, early part of the season we played well. But I told you why we played well, because of Son and Kane. That was quite easy. But yeah, I mean, admittedly, like I said, yes, we might have to sell him. But again, that's dependent on what manager we get.
Look, I love Dele Alli. He's one of my favorite players. My first Nike kit was a Dele shirt. Right. Once the club went to switch to Nike, my first Nike kit was a Dele Alli shirt. I have a big giant poster sticker in my son's room of Dele Alli that I bought not because he likes him, but because I like him. Right. So it's Dele, Son, and Kane. Right. But I'm willing to admit the Dele's performances this season have been poor, and that Lucas Moura deserves to play in front of him this season based on his performances. If you were to go back and watch streams from like a year ago, I'm not a huge Lucas Moura fan. I think he keeps his head down too much. He's not a great passer. He's an amazing dribbler. He's definitely a better shooter than say like Eric Lamela or something like that. But he definitely has problems. If you were to say compare 17-18 Dele with like this season's Lucas Moura, I'd pick Dele all over the place. What I'm saying is because I'm basing it on current form and how it affects the team now. I'm not giving him. He doesn't get any credit for his past season because that season is done. It's done. So I just don't think it's fair to hold these players like Davies, who's had a horrible season this season, right? You can think that he's a good squad player, but he's had a horrible season. Winks has had a horrible season. Ali's had a horrible season.
Can I just say something on that? Because obviously you said about you like Ali. Mm-hmm. To be honest, like I don't have anything against Winks as a person.
I don't either.
When he was originally coming through into the Tottenham team, I was extremely happy. I really did like Winks, but I don't think he offers enough to warrant a place in the team at the moment. If he went out somewhere and proved over the course of a season or whatever that he can step up and come back and play in the squad, then yeah, look, if he can go and prove, then even if he plays now in his Tottenham team with this new manager comes in and he comes in, plays well and proves me wrong, I'll sit here, I'll put my hands up and go, you know what, I was wrong about him. He does have what it takes. But the thing is, I just don't think he does. And as much as I liked him as a person, even like you see the interviews with him and he seems like a really nice guy, but I just don't think he is like what we need. We need a cut above what he has.
Yeah, statistically, he's bang average.
Yeah.
Like a 55, his best attacking radar score is a 55, creativity is a 65. Technical ability is only a 72. Tactical ability is only 67, 54. I mean, those are bang average statistics.
What's his strength with? Probably about 20.
His biggest strength right now in this season is creativity at a 60. Everything else is below 55.
But I think the thing
was
is
his best season, and you're looking at like a technical ability of 72 with a creativity of 65.
Well, the point is because the thing is though, we're going on something that, to be honest with you, is really I understand where you're coming from. is contribution to the team isn't so great than like a Højbjerg, for instance, or
any other number 8.
And Ndombele, for instance. I'm just thinking that people
or
in the team at the moment, or Lo Celso, yeah. But my point is that as a team, we haven't got an identity at the moment. Okay, so all these questions about this player is really no point of going around these subjects at the moment.
Just on Harry Winks and Dele Alli and all, they played in an identity under Pochettino.
But let me finish my point. What I'm saying is that we're going all around these players at the moment, and unfortunately, we haven't got an identity at the moment. That's what Mason's trying to do at the moment, with not so much time, and so much,
Alex, there's been more to Harry Winks' career than the 18 months under Pochettino and these few games under Mason.
Yeah. You're saying Ryan Mason's identity is to play the worst players we've had this season?
No, but you're not understanding my point, though. I'm trying to say to you is that he's trying to think of an identity, trying to approach a playing to move forward for Tottenham. That's what I'm hoping in the summer is what we're going to be trying to do with the structure, because at the moment we have not got an identity. That's my problem with our team at the moment. I don't think people realise how bad we are at the moment. Where we're sleeping.
No, we're bad.
Alex, we do.
We are sleepwalking into a.
But the thing is, just on Harry Winks, Alex. Sorry, just on Harry Winks, right? He's had all the Europa League group stages against teams that you would expect him to flourish, right? An England international, a guy that was talking about going to the Euros, right? You would expect him to flourish. What have we seen in the Europa League this season? Nothing but disappointment from this guy, And you're talking about identity. Harry Winks' career at Tottenham has been longer than Jose Mourinho or Ryan Mason. It's been there under Pochettino. You know what I mean? Even before that, you had that guy, Sherwood. Harry Winks offers nothing to this team. Absolutely nothing. Like, he's had chances this year, and he's done absolutely jack shit with them.
But David, can I just say this, though? This is the point I'm making. We're going on about a player at the moment when we're not even going about the team. Even if Winks leaves, we're still not very good at the moment, still, mate.
Yeah, I know, but then I'll go on about Ben Davies when Harry Winks leaves. I want to get these players out one by one.
That's what I'm saying. Because I've said.
I hope they don't go out one by one. I hope they all go at the same time.
But I'm saying to you is that, well, I don't think they should go at the same time. I think that's pointless saying that, because I think Davies is still a good player. A good player,
according to what, though?
Well, no, because he's a good defensive player, and all the
Alex, have you
negatives
seen how many
had
times
so
he's
far.
been spun this season when he's played?
Pardon?
Ben
Because
Davies, right?
he
So you
hasn't
say
got
he's
any
a good
pace, that's the
defensive player.
problem.
Every time he's played this season, it's the same ball out on the wing, and Ben Davies is tucked in, hiding behind Dyer, playing hide-go-seek, right? Against West Brom, Snodgrass done the same thing time and time again. Get the ball, turn in on his left foot, and pull it in the box. Where was Ben Davies? Against City, same thing. Teams target Ben Davies when he plays. Do you not see this? They literally target his side when he plays left
He's a
back
good
because they know he
defensive
can't
left back,
defend.
and he's still international.
What do
as
you-
far as I'm
what
concerned.
do you
Like,
think-
He's going around in circles about this at the moment.
No, I'm
All
not. I'm
I'm
just giving
saying
you
is-
facts, Alex.
No,
we're not going
but
circles.
we're
I'm
just
giving
going
you
around
facts
in
on
circles.
what has
We're going
happened
around
this
in
season.
circles about
It's not circles. Let's flesh this out. Okay, what are the attributes of a left back?
Well, you have to you've got to be attacking. You've got to
Okay.
be up and down that left-hand side.
Okay.
You've got to have
Gets a nosebleed past the halfway line.
Can I just actually ask a question? Because I've seen someone actually put a comment in chat. Right, so Alex, what do you think we should be achieving as a club, like as in the Premier League? Where do you think we should be aiming to reach every season?
I was thinking top four, but at the
Top four.
moment,
So can I ask you a question? So you've said to me that you've agreed before. She said that we aren't even like a top six or whatever team, a Europa League team, whatever you want to call it, conference. So, and then in that same point that we're talking about, you basically said that the Winks would only go to teams that aren't even Europa quality. So the thing is, like Xander said in chat, the point is, if we sell Winks, we have the funds to get someone who's far better. The thing is, if we're acknowledging, hang a second, we have Winks who's maybe a 6th or 7th place team player, but we think we should be getting 4th, then do we not need to get someone better than him so we can actually achieve that? Or, you know what I mean? Like, the idea is you would sell Winks so you have the money to go and buy someone better so that we can achieve top players. We don't need average or, yeah, that player's all right, that player's good. We need great players. We need to realistically build a team that is on the level of Son, Kane, some of our better players. You can't have such a lopsided team where you have some amazing, great players and then the rest are just like, yeah, I mean, they can pass the ball, they can keep the play. You know what I mean? Like, we need to be we need a bit more fucking ambition than that. Sorry for my swearing, but we need a bit of ambition. Can't just go,
but then I'll come back to saying that it's not FIFA, mate. Because it's not like playing FIFA. Because I think loads of people think playing FIFA and you can get players like that.
Alex,
easily.
you're the one playing
But
FIFA.
Anyway,
If you think Winks is good enough, it's the only thing he's good at is FIFA.
I want to
That's the only thing he's good at. You're the one playing FIFA, man.
Look, if we
No,
just
you
look
are.
at-
No, hang on, you are. Don't dismiss Kieran's question by saying he's playing FIFA, because at the end of the day, you're the one playing FIFA if you think Winks is good enough, because it's the only football he excels on. And just quickly, before I let you respond, Nigel Gates has sent in a super chat. He says at the end of the season, Winks is one of the 8 or 9 players that needs to go, and I agree.
Yeah, but you
Big up
can't
Nigel
get rid
Gates.
of 8
agree.
players and
I
9
agree.
players in
Look,
the squad,
do
mate,
you know
because then
what?
you change the whole team. So how does that work?
Alex,
You know what I'm saying?
Alex,
Anyway, go on, Kieran.
you said one of Winks's best assets is his creativity and his passing, right? And you were talking about the runs that people weren't making today. But for Son's offside goal, Toby, who plays deeper than Winks, could see the run of Son ahead of him and played him in. And it's not just Toby didn't just play that one pass; he played multiple of those passes. When Winks came on, why is he only playing 5-10 yard passes if he's got such an amazing Arsenal?
Because one of the worst long ball accuracy rates of the team. It's less than 40%.
Lads, any you just want to send Danny on the link? Danny's playing
I'll send it to him.
part on this.
But yeah, I have a question though for Ben Davies. So you're saying Ben Davies is a left back, so you got to be attacking. You got to be somewhat good defensively, right? What do you think like Ben Davies worth, like cost wise, pounds? Like how many euros or how many pounds do you think he's worth?
That's a very good question, actually. I'd say 10 million, but knowing Daniel Levy, you know what he's going to be like.
Right, close to 10 million pounds, but it's more like 14 million euros is what SofaScore has him rated as, right? And so I'm just going to throw these out there. It's there for David to share if he'd like to. If not, I can just read it out because it's quick.
No, let's share it. I do want to say to Jank as well, he is being very quiet there. My man, if you want to butt in at any time, don't be afraid to.
Okay, so now this is all emotion now. These are it's just straight up facts, right? This is no opinion here. This is just data, right? So attacking wise, 41. So not very attacking. 47 technically, 49 creatively. So he's not a very creative person. He doesn't get a lot of good crosses in. Technically, he's not very good on the ball. Defensively, 68. Not a bad score, right? Tactically, 53. That means he's out of position a lot, right? And you take somebody like Sergio Reguilon here, right? Attacking 50, creativity 61. That means he's a lot better at crossing the ball, playing the ball in. 53, much better on the ball. 67, only one worse in defense. Tactically, 52. Okay. So Reguilon's worth 24 million. Obviously, our starter, right? Far better player than Ben Davies. I don't think you've necessarily said that Ben Davies should start over Sergio Reguilon. If you have, I'm sorry. But why not go after someone like, I don't know, Matt Target, who is far better creatively, tactically, and defensively, and tactically than Ben Davies could ever be, and is only €1 million more expensive. Why should we settle for somebody who's not even as good as Matt Target?
Okay, again, you're going back to the fact, who's the manager? Who's making those decisions? Who's the director making these decisions?
A 29-year-old.
That's what I'm coming. This is where I'm coming at. You're making philosophical judgments because you think you like that.
No, these are tactical analyses.
You're making philosophical.
They're not philosophical. They're tactical.
They are philosophical decisions because you want that player. And you don't even know.
I don't even know. I don't want this player.
So how can you make that decision, mate? I'm sorry.
I picked Matt Target because you said it had to be somebody from the homegrown quota, right? Matt Target is an English player, right? I picked him up. He's one of the cheapest ones playing for an Aston Villa side who's at the middle half of the table, right? And is better in every statistical attribute than Ben Davies. And yet, for some reason, Ben Davies gets the shout.
Mate. I've watched.
Did he sign your shirt or something outside the stadium?
Videos of Davis. I've watched back videos of Davis, and he's actually a good player when I look back at it.
Clips on YouTube where they make him look good.
Are you looking at videos from back when he was at Swansea? How far back are you looking?
You haven't been watching this, but you must have missed a lot of matches this season. You haven't had to work a lot. Must have been busy because.
Someone said in the chat, your tie from AFTV, we just need a Claude. So what I will say is, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. He's been a good squad player over the years, but
it's time for Ben Davies to go for sure. But we can roll this. I don't have a stream until 10 o'clock. Alex, if we want to roll this in, if you want to stay up with us all night over there on the THFC Rants stream, and we can continue this on till wee hours of the morning if you'd like to, my friend.
I think he's a squad player at best, Ben Davies.
Look, let's bring Jake in. What do you want to say, man?
Squad player at best. That's about it. And that's stretching it.
He's a good player. That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said. But people say that he's dead wood, which I just think is just not true at all. So,
but we compare Sessignon or Dennis Serpent to be a squad player.
No, but I like I said, I don't think that. It depends on what happens in pre-season. It depends what happens in pre-season. Again, I want to make this clear. I'm not Thai. People can say I'm Thai, but I'm not Thai. Thai is, he's good. He does his thing on AFTV. So I just want to make that clear. So yeah, just to clear things up there. But I think we're going past the subject here. No one's really gone on about what's going on next season and our direction. Because for me,
we're going down the table where I see us going.
That's what worries me at the moment. That is concerning me at the moment, especially the fact that I'm hearing Steve Hitchen is making decisions on what manager we're getting.
Steve Hitchen needs to get the sack too. I want Steve Hitchen out. I want Levy out. I want Weeks out. I want Dyer out. I want Davies out. I want Lamella out. I want who else? Ali needs to go. I think I'd give Ali a pass.
Yeah, but then, you're saying that the whole team, you can't change the whole team, mate. It's like changing. If you do that, the whole team, there's no continuity.
How many did Poch get out in his first year at the club?
Yes, but some of those players were very good to get. Well, you could get rid of them easily, some of them, because they had a sell-on value, didn't they? So let's be honest here. He did well to get rid of them, some of them, and also we brought in some of the youngsters as well. So it wasn't too much
Yeah,
of a
that's what I'm
change.
saying. We got
to be honest.
Scarlett, Sessignon, Skip.
But you would
Bring those guys in, buy 2 or 3, 4 other good players, and get them all gone.
Yeah, but
we got Joe Rodin. Why do we need Joe? Why do we need Eric Dyer?
Agreed, because he's a foreign player, so I can see that. But it depends what offers we get.
Can I just address that comment that someone made? I think the comparison to Alex and Ty is based on their views of their team, and Ty obviously in AFTV.
I think it's more on the delusional part of it.
That's what
it is.
No,
look, it's just someone trying to create an agenda out of nothing, so don't give him the airplane.
Yeah, but like I said, I think it's I think you can't just change the whole team because it doesn't make sense. Look at Chelsea's team; they've brought in loads of players. They had to settle in. Yes. Tuchel's getting a tune out of them at the moment, but again, that's down to coaching and having a good coach.
Coco has to go.
Who's that?
That's Will. That's Will saying when he's bored.
Yeah, that's my Eric Lamela voice.
That's a good one. But I just think, I think like I said, they need to sort out the whole structure of the team. At the moment, it's a mess. I think, unfortunately, we can't take anything out of these games. I know I was saying that, Mason, we can't blame Mason and whatever, but you can't really make anything out of these games, the last remaining games at the moment, because we haven't got no direction with no manager, no director of football, because I don't class Steve Hitchen as a director of football. So until we get that, I'm worried about next season. And yes, we do need a rebuild. We do need to refresh the squad. But we need the right person to refresh the squad. I am not comfortable with Steve Hitchen doing that. Simple as that.
Neither am I.
And if we don't sort that out, we are going to be in trouble next season. I'm not just talking about, like I said, relegation candidates next season. There's just too much there to make us look like that at the moment, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
You're never too good to go down. So we need to sort it out. I don't really care about whether Kane goes, to be honest with you. I don't think he's the issue anymore, to be honest with you. He can do whatever he wants. Because as far as I'm concerned, it's like 2008. We had Berbatov and Keane. Yeah. They went. Look what happened there. We need a plan. And Tottenham just not got a plan. And that's frustrating for me at the moment. It's a joke. Absolute joke. And that's it. And I think that's the issue here. And until Tottenham fans, Dave, we've spoken already personally. You know what I'm talking about, mate. And we don't agree. You know what I'm talking about. And I think Tottenham fans need to hear this. They need to hear this. Because no one's talking about it. They're going around the subject. I don't like it anymore. We need people to get it real right now. We need a plan. And if they don't get a plan in right now, get this Radner in right now. I swear down. He's
Alex,
the best person.
Everybody is talking about where Tottenham goes next and what plan we need. Everybody's talking about it. No matter what Spurs plan you're going.
Do you know what? I think I've agreed on something with Alex that we should get someone like Ranyakin as director of football.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is maybe we won't.
Yeah, we won't. We won't. But I agree with his point that we should. We should.
I absolutely agree. 1,000,000%. If I were to pick one, it would be either him or Campos, right? Campos probably isn't available now because
I'll get him as a coach. Put somebody under him. Okay. Get rid of Steve Hitchen, regardless. Just get rid of him. Don't need him anymore.
100%.
Bye-bye. You know what I mean? And then at least then we've got a structure, and he will get us back to what we were doing under Poch. And because he made Klopp, he made Tuchel, he made all these managers. I'm sorry, this is what we need to do anymore, because all those managers, they just pick them out the hat. They literally pick them out the hat.
So what do you think? What do you think about my thing? What do you think about my proposal for manager? Ted Lasso, season 3, next season.
Who are you talking about?
You know, that's actually a great program.
Who's he?
You don't know?
Have you never watched Ted Lasso?
I don't know who he is. No.
Oh, please, honestly, watch it. It's one of the funniest programs I've ever watched.
Apple TV Plus, or I don't know what it's on over there in the UK, but yeah, you got to check it out. Ted Lasso. You don't remember those? You don't remember those Tottenham commercials from like 2014?
No.
Where they had that American man. He was an American football manager who came in to manage Tottenham Hotspur.
Send it on Facebook to me. Send it on Facebook to me, Dave.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Flamethrower says I'd even take Paul Mitchell back.
Well, mate, boy, you just said what everybody's saying. I mean, that was the stupidest mistake ever. I mean, look, sacking Potts was a stupid mistake ever, but
Paul quit.
letting him go was a stupid mistake as well. To be honest,
Paul
with you.
quit. It wasn't. He didn't get sacked. He quit
because
I know because of Daniel Levy. Levy. That's why.
I don't blame him.
So yeah, I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you on that one. Yeah, but unfortunately, he's done. He's gone now, so we can't get him back now. He's not going to come back to us now, like Potts.
Yeah.
So we've got to move on from that now. We got to, get,
That's the problem. You're not.
Back.
Anyone who's actually good at their job isn't going to want to work with Daniel Levy because they're going to be so frustrated. This is the point that I think is the biggest point. If Daniel Levy doesn't get out of having executive control of the club, day-to-day operational control of the club, he can still go own 30% and fill his pockets with dividends at the end of the season and do whatever. But he needs to disappear from being into the day-to-day operations of the club. He needs to get out of it. Because as long as he's there, anybody who's actually good at their job and takes pride in the fact that they're good at their job will not work for him. That's why I wouldn't work for him. People ask me, would you take the job? Yeah, I'd take the job. But if I could go in there and then I have my boss telling me, well, you get paid to do this, but you can't do that, and you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you can't do this. Right? I mean, that's why I own my own businesses, because I got tired of bosses who didn't know what they were talking about telling me how to do the design work that I do. So I started my own. Right? I mean, that's the whole point. Anybody who's actually good at their job isn't going to want to work for Daniel Levy. Mitchell didn't want to work for Daniel Levy, right? None of these managers that we were supposedly linked with wanted to come to Tottenham Hotspur because nobody wants to work with Daniel Levy.
Yeah.
He wants to micromanage everything, literally everything at the club, every little detail, which is the issue.
I mean, you see the way even in the documentary where he's sitting there having breakfast with the players, like,
Yeah, be on Jose's case. Oh, please go talk to Christian Eriksen one more time.
Yeah.
Please. And then he pulls Christian Eriksen in his office and he's like,
if the number isn't right, and I know it's not what you want to hear,
saying I'm not even going to sell you if you want to leave.
Big up Marcelo, by the way, lads. Marcelo's in the building. How you keep, my man? I hope you're keeping well.
He's the worst man. He's the worst. Honestly, that situation made me so annoyed because honestly, it was just obviously just need to let go of Alderweireld. We need to let go of Alderweireld. We need to let go of Vertonghen. We need to let go of Eriksen. Eriksen was just clear. Just get rid of him. Just get the money for him and just let him go. It was just ridiculous. But anyway, we can't go back to the past. But we need to move forward because teams are going ahead of us. Leicester City are doing so much better than us at the moment. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. Honestly.
That's because they have good planning. That's because they have good planning.
Exactly.
West Ham.
It's embarrassing.
That's even more embarrassing.
So, and teams are going to go ahead of us. West Ham, I mean, it's embarrassing that they are above us at the moment. I don't think they'll have a good season next season. But, honestly, we are in massive trouble next season. I'm so scared for next season at the moment. I don't think Tottenham fans realise. I don't think they realise.
No, we all do.
No pleasure.
David, what have I been saying? That we could be the next Sunderland.
Yeah. No, look, we all realize. Everybody realizes.
If we lose Kane and Son this summer, I see us down at the bottom of the table. We'll be lucky to finish 14th.
Yeah.
In Kane's goals.
I just want to say big up Ryan T as well. Ryan T, a legend. And good night, Danny Kiriakou, who's off to bed. Brilliant, man. He says, everyone smash a like on the stream. Smash subscribe on the channel if you're new. Also, do not be afraid to get your super chats in, guys. And Marcelo's doing good. It's good to hear Marcelo. And like I said, big up Ryan C, you're a legend. Sorry, lads, continue.
Can I just say something on Levy?
Say it again.
Can I say something on Levy?
Go on.
This is a guy during a pandemic that gave himself and other board members a pay rise whilst trying to furlough staff. Put that into perspective. It's disgusting.
This is a guy. Can I just add something? This is a guy that sat Pochettino, right? And then during the pandemic, had to renegotiate that release clause because they couldn't, because of the pandemic. Think of that. You know what I mean? Honestly, you couldn't make it up. Honestly, you sack somebody, you're going to pay him off month to month, then the pandemic hits, and then you have to renegotiate his contract. Honestly, my gosh. I don't know what to say there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You said it all there. You said it all there, mate. You just said it all there, mate. Honestly, yeah. And we couldn't even get Skriniar for 45 million.
Yeah.
Mate, I don't even go there with Southgate. Don't even go there. Go there. Like, he's doing well for England.
Brown Southgate.
I wouldn't have him at Tottenham. No,
I'd rather
no
have
way.
Ted Lasso.
Can I just say, right, with the whole thing of Southgate, look at the wealth of talent he has to choose from with that England squad. But then he has to come to Tottenham, and we're expecting that he's going to turn around the team and revive us. Like, utter nonsense. You've literally got everyone that you can possibly think of that's across these like other top teams in England. Like the other Premier League clubs in England. He has to choose. He has the selection of all those players, and he's not necessarily overachieving with the England team, is he? So, like, I don't understand. Obviously, if the links are true, where they think that he's ever going to be able to improve this squad.
Do you know what I think, Kieran? I think a massive part is keeping Kane happy. That's a massive.
Yeah. Honestly, I was thinking it as well. That's the only thing I can think of. That it's kind of a thing of Kane has a good relationship with him. Get someone that Kane has a good relationship with, but yeah, even that doesn't guarantee you anything.
Yeah,
you know.
Marcelo says, Alex, it's good to see you, Alex, so worked up. Not gonna lie, lad, I've never seen you this upset.
No, because I was just getting annoyed because at the end of the day, mate, it's just literally when I found that out about Steve Hitchen finding our new manager, and because I knew from the very moment after Mourinho got sacked, because I thought it was an absolute joke he got sacked, like I said, and then seeing all those names, I was just like, this is a joke. This is a joke. They don't have a clue what they want. And then I found out that Steve Hitchens took it for the manager. I just thought, no, that's why it's an absolute joke, isn't it? So, yeah, I don't like the way our club's run at the moment. I really do not. I'm not saying that, I want them out because, getting them out is not going to be easy. And, you have to be careful what you wish for in terms of owners anyway. But I think it's getting to that point now where he's made too many mistakes when we're just about there. And I think after Pochettino, that was when my patience was running out. My patience ran out after that. And I knew it was not going to work with Jose. I said it in November. So I knew that they were going to go back to a manager at Pochettino anyway. So I knew it's not going to work out. But it's just the whole thing about this manager search is just making me annoyed now because it's not well done at all. It is looking like a X Factor audition now. Really, honestly, it's an absolute joke, and that's all I need to say on it. Really.
Right, lads. Marcelo wants top 6 players that has to go now. This is going to kill Alex, but we will start with Kieran and work our way around.
Yeah. To be fair, this is a bit of a tough one having to think of it because there are probably a lot of players that need to go or need replacing. I'd say Winks. Either Sanchez or Dyer. One of them, we need to replace one of them and bring someone else in. If we could, I would probably get rid of Doherty. I think Davies, enjoyable time, but I think it's time to kind of part ways and we bring someone to either upgrade on him or hopefully Sessegnon can fill that role. So that's 4? Sissoko. And then I probably go. See, I don't want to say Aurier because then we've literally got no one in that right back role.
Yeah.
I'd say maybe Lamela then, just because he's not that I hate him, but I think he's just very prone to injuries. Yeah, he's had an all right season, but he just doesn't provide enough. We need goals and assists going forward, like I said before, apart from Kane and Son. So I'd probably put him out there. Yeah,
that's fair enough. Jenk?
Ooh, I wish I could have more than 6, to be honest, Marcelo. Dyer, Sanchez, Winks, Sissoko, Dele, Davis. That's my 6.
Interesting. Whip?
I only had to choose 6. in order of priority, it would be Davies, Winks, Sissoko, Lamella, Dyer, Sanchez.
Yeah, 100%. Alex?
There is, I'm just looking at the players right now. Moira, Dyer, Aurier, Lamella, Sissoko, and I think because he's on loan anyway, Vinicius.
No, that's a cop-out. Can't let you have that one.
That's a cop
You can't sell a
I'm not
person who's
taking
on
that.
loan.
That's a cop-out, Alex.
Unfortunately, realistically, it will be Winks.
Go on, say it, Winks.
I don't think it will be on loan for me, but I don't think Doherty's going to go. So, yeah, I think those players.
Love it. But no, Mr. K is saying, how long will I be streaming for? Look, not much longer, because Will Stewart will be taking over this onto his channel. But look, my 6 players, first and foremost, in big, massive capital letters, couldn't be any clearer, Harry Winks. Second one, big capital letters, couldn't be any clearer, Ben Davies. Third one, Sissoko. Fourth one is this shite bag Aurier. He pisses me off. When a big game comes around, you can guarantee Aurier to give away, the free kick or the penalty that leads to the winner. Moon Boots as well, for me, has to go. He's definitely one that's been clinging on way too long. And Lamella as well, I think, has to go. So they're my 6. But Alex, Marcelo was wondering why Mora?
We can get money for him. And for me, I don't think you can get any more out of him than you can. He can't play on the left. He's only better in the centre. I think you won't miss him because I think we've got better players that can. He does put his effort in, but I think he can be one of those players that you can sacrifice for me. So for me, he needs to. If we can get money for him, I'll let him go.
Yeah.
So that's fine. That's
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I think Danny's got a good point there.
Yeah,
that's probably my 6 as well. If I could change it.
Yeah, no, look, Winks 3 times probably a bit harsh, Danny. I would definitely throw Davies and Dyer in there. So we go with Daniel Levy, Joe Lewis, Steve Hitchin, Winks, Davies, and Dyer.
No, Davies is staying, mate. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going there at all. So I'm sorry. I'm going to defend him. I'm sorry. I don't know what is this agenda against Davies. Honestly,
no, there's no agenda. Alex.
Embarrassing.
You know what? Look, I'll just. It's nothing against him personally. It's nothing like we're not hating on him. It's just a case of, like we said, we just need to kind of upgrade. Like we need to upgrade our squad. We're all sitting here going like, oh, well, we need to upgrade players. We need to rebuild. And realistically, Davies is our second choice left back at the moment. You said it yourself the other day or earlier on. I think you were saying that you didn't think that Sessegnon, I think it was you that was saying Sessegnon, you didn't think that he would come back in and do a job at left back.
Yeah, but I said, I don't think.
And you said you don't. You said you don't. Sorry to interrupt you. You also said you don't think Reguilon's going to stay. So then that would make Ben Davies our first choice. And realistically, he's not good enough to be our first choice. Would you not say?
Well, I think he's got. I think he's got some qualities to be our first choice. It depends on how we play next season. I've got to be honest. But I think he can play on that left-hand side in terms of the centre backs. If we play a 3 in the back as well, and he's a good centre back.
We give Ben Davies another season, Alex. He's nearly a testimonial at this club.
No, he's not a testimonial. I don't.
No, he nearly is. Yeah, no, he nearly is.
I
It's
do
true.
not agree with that.
No, it's the truth.
I think in terms of the squad, I think he's a very useful squad player. So I think that's the thing. So I think he'd be very useful for us next season, definitely. I'm looking at it from a point of view that you need a less footed defender next season anyway. So I think he's a very good defender in that sense.
Here's a good question for you, though, Alex.
But
do you think Ben Davies is worth a testimonial? Do you think he's done enough to give him the 10 years here and give him a testimonial?
Yeah, he's worth a testimonial, but he's not going to go. He's not going to go.
Oh dear Lord!
I am sorry, but anyway, moving on. But like I said, it's down to what happens with the squad in terms of who's coming in as manager. So, for me, you're not going to get rid of him easily anyway.
Do you think he deserves a testimonial?
Yes.
No, you can't. You have to be pulling my leg, lad.
What's the matter? What's the matter with that, man? He's
Ben Davies deserves a testimonial.
Yes.
Oh, Alex, you're really going out on a limb here, my man.
When did he even? Okay, so before Danny Rose kind of, was put out to pasture, what did he do before then? And then there was like a season in between that. Reguilon was in and out. Davies, Rose.
Will,
and then
will you send Marcelo on the link?
Yeah, this is. I'm speechless. Like I can't even finish my sentence.
I don't know what to say.
He deserves it.
Why Will sends on Marcelo the link? Because Marcelo doesn't want to have a chat with you about Davies' testimony. This would be called. What has Ben Davies done at this club that he deserves a testimonial, Alex?
He's giving us some good service, man. Just leave it, man. I'm not going to go into this, man. Let Marcelo dig a hole for himself, man. Honestly, if he wants to go and dig a hole for himself, he can dig a hole for himself, mate. Honestly, I can,
Would you give Harry Winks a testimonial?
I think that's a different question, though, isn't it? Because he's not really done that many years, hasn't he? He's not.
Wait a second, he's come through the youth academy as well. He's done all the years in the youth academy, come into the first team under Poch. I think Dave's in the first team, and he has a couple more years than Winks.
Yeah.
You're even more ugly in television than reality.
That was the wrong one.
What am I hearing? What am I hearing? Davies' testimonial, Alex.
Yes.
Come on now, man. Like, we're already a banter club as it is. Like, you can't be. If Ben Davies get a testimonial, like a testimonial before Harry Kane. For fuck's sakes, lad. Come on, you can't be saying these things. No, come on now, Alex. No, look, listen. There was a point Ben Davies was actually a pretty decent backup. But, there was a point he was a decent backup. 2017, 18 season, he was a, good backup. He actually was starting games. He was a good fullback. But the guy has been one of the worst left backs in the last 2 seasons. And he hasn't even nailed down a spot. The only reason he even played was because Danny Rose was finished, man. You know what I mean? Like, come on. You can't be...
I mean, who gives a testimonial to a second-string player?
Come on.
To a backup?
Come on, for fuck's sake, Phil Jones doesn't get a testimonial, and he won a fucking Premier League.
I mean, you've got players in the squads that get testimonials all the time because they give good service. So I don't even know what this question is about.
The kit man gets
I don't know what you're going on about. I mean, yeah, Dennis Irwin, he got a testimonial at Manchester United. You know what I mean? He was a good
because he's a legend. No, Dennis Irwin, he won everything with Man United. What are you talking about? He won every trophy. He could play left back and right back. He was a brilliant fullback. No. Hold on a second, Alex. Do not be comparing Ben Davies with Dennis Irwin. He was a proper fullback, man. He was a proper fullback. He can't be. That's ridiculous. Testimonial.
Okay, Marcelo, let's ask the question. Let's ask the deep questions here. Are we losing games because of Ben Davies? Are we losing games because of Ben Davies?
We have.
We haven't.
Yes, we have. Statistically, we have.
Have we lost games?
Can I prove it to you?
The Wolves game.
Can I prove it to you? Why we have? Okay, since Reguilon got injured, we had our lowest win rate when Ben Davies was starting. Ben Davies, we actually, when Reguilon got injured, we had our lowest win rate. We actually only won 2 games, I think, in the Premier League when Ben Davies was starting. There was a massive difference between Ben Davies and when Reguilon started. A massive difference, and you can tell it from the performances. If you actually look at the Wolves game, he cost us that game. If you look at the Brighton game, he was getting absolutely torn up by Trossard the whole entire game. The whole entire game. You can watch it. It's all in there. Like the stats, his defensive stats is shocking the last 2 seasons. His attacking stats are shocking the last 2 seasons. It's actually below average compared to a lot of the Premier League mid-table clubs. He's actually underperforming than a lot of fullbacks in mid-table clubs.
That depends on because of the manager, I think. Because again, like I said, he didn't believe in a certain fitness, sort of fitness to playing games, and I think that was the problem. He's also playing a lot of games as well. So for me, I think that's kind of not really helped it. So I don't really think that's really fair. No, I don't think that's fair.
How is it not fair? He was a backup to Reguilon, and then when Reguilon got injured, that's what he's there for, to be a backup to when Reguilon gets injured. And then when he stepped up, he failed miserably. He was horrible.
Mr. K has a question here for everybody, so we'll give it to everybody. But look, first of all, we still have over 130 people watching, which is insane. So make sure you have smashed a like on the channel. If you're new, subscribe on the channel as well. Would be nice. And a few super chats if you feel like getting them in as well. But Mr. K says, let's not laugh at a testimonial for Davies. He's a legend. Don't you all agree? Lol. Could you told you Rose was shafted by the club, and like good little poodles will big up Ben Davies instead.
That's a great point. Danny Rose definitely deserves a testimonial.
Yeah, Danny deserves it way more than Davies does.
Well, this is what I was just going to say, because I seen a comment from I think his name was Kieran. He said, "Not even Michael Dawson."
Are you
Aaron
chatting
Lennon
to yourself in the chat?
No. There's someone else. But yeah, he said not even Michael Dawson, Aaron Lennon, or Defoe got a testimonial. So, like, if
we're
we
gonna
don't
get Ben Davies one,
then does Ben Davies get one?
Honestly, that would be the most Tottenham thing ever. So I do believe that Ben Davies will get a testimonial. I mean, imagine Ben Davies outliving Harry Kane at Tottenham. You know what I mean? Imagine Harry Kane not getting a testimonial and Ben Davies and Eric Lamela getting one. Just be the most Bursiest thing ever. I wouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, we want to give Ben Davies a testimonial for wearing a balaclava around Tottenham because he's robbing his wages. He's robbing the living, Alex, isn't he? Alex knows. Alex laughing away. He knows.
Oh, Dave.
Doesn't Danny Rose technically have one? Like, I'm looking here. It looks like he's officially been a part of the club for 13 seasons.
He should have one.
Lamela's going to have a testimonial with Davies.
Yeah, you're correct, but unfortunately, I think it's very bad terms between him and the club at the moment. So, to be honest, they wanted him out 2 seasons ago, to be honest. So, and it hasn't really improved with when Jones was in charge. You saw what happened in the documentary, didn't you? So, but
he loved Jose. What are you talking about? He was on his way out of Spurs, and then like Jose kind of brought him back. If anything, he tried.
But you can see Marcelo. If you've seen what's happened since,
what do you mean? He hasn't played since.
Yes, because he's been out the team. Because he's been
because Reguilon is better.
That was a Daniel Levy decision. That wasn't a Jose Mourinho decision.
No, that was also Jose Mourinho's decision as well.
Then why is he still out of the team?
He wasn't even in the team. He wasn't even in the squad.
Right, I know, but
squad.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Why wouldn't he be back in the team? How Jose's gone?
Well, I mean, as I said, I know that Tottenham were trying to get rid of him. They've been trying to offer him to loads of clubs. They've been trying to get him to, leave. So, really, to be honest with you, it's really down to Danny Rose to just find another club. Really, at the end of the day, I know he's going to be released at the end of the season anyway. Definitely, I'm not going to offer him a new contract.
I'm not laughing at you, Alex. I just saw Adam Phillips' comment. That is
No,
genius.
it's fine. It's fine.
I'm not laughing at you. It just he said Jetson Fernandez deserves a testimonial more than
Oh gosh, I mean, silly comments like that. Goodness sake. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, I think we're going past the subject here at the end of the day. I'm not hearing a lot in terms of what we're going to do, you know, team wise, going forward. That's where my concerns are at the
You
moment.
didn't even let me give you a chance.
Well, we gotta sign players. As simple as we gotta offload. We gotta sign players. What David and I've been saying this whole season. But I mean, you know, but we made so many excuses for this board, saying, "Oh, we got the new stadium. Oh, we got this," and David and I kept saying, "No. You gotta offload at least 2 or 3 players season. Try to get 2 in. You know, try to freshen up the squad." Didn't happen. And now all these deadwoods are here, and I gave you guys a top 6. And the amount of thinking you guys had to make just for a top 6 of players that need to get out right now is shocking. It's shocking. But that's in the position that we're in right now because we didn't do that. We didn't offload 2 or 3 players or even 1, you know, in those seasons. I mean, for fuck's sakes, guys, Foyth is still in this club. Like, actually, Foyth has been pretty good. But, you know, like, Foyth is still in this club. Gazaniga is still in this club. Danny Rose is still in this club. Like, we talk about these players like they're out, but, like, some of them only got loaned.
I wasn't happy about Gazaniga going on loan. I wasn't happy.
I like Gazaniga, to be fair.
I wasn't happy about Joe Hart coming in. I understand the strategy.
What's your favourite team? The reason why he came in, Alex, the English quarter. Your favourite.
I understand why they brought him in, but I think I wasn't happy about it. I think they've been very harsh on him. I don't think Lloris should go either. I think they're very wide the mark trying to get rid of Lloris because trying to get a new goalkeeper is not very easy. Get a competent goalkeeper like Lloris. So I think we've got to be very, very careful what we wish for in that sense. Foyth,
it's been pretty good.
Would you take him back next season, lads? Would you keep him?
I don't think we can because I think we've got a deal for him to go off to Villarreal. I think he's a very good player, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, I don't think it worked with him and Mourinho. I think if Poch was still there, it would be interesting to see how he would have developed still. I think unfortunately, I think we've got a clause in his contract. The loan deal.
That's only if they trigger it, though. That's only if they trigger it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to trigger it, though, mate. 30 million, no brainer.
I think we have to sell them. If it's like 30 million, I think we have to take the loss.
No, it's 13. I think it's 13.
13 million.
13 million, I think it is. Yeah.
We gotta ask. We gotta ask for more.
Yeah.
That's.
No, I think unfortunately, I think that's in the.
I'd take 13 for days.
I mean, we have to see. As I said, Will, it's not going to be easy just to sell players because we saw that last season, last summer. I mean, so
that's because Daniel Levy. If I was the chairman, it'd be real easy.
Yeah, but like I said, in the real world, we have to look at how we can get the value we can get for players at the end of the day. So it depends on what happens. But as I said, we need to find out who our manager is and who's our director of football is. And first thing, like I said, I am not happy with Steve Hitchin taking charge of that. So that's why I'm saying Rangnick needs to come in straight away for me. I don't see any other choice other than that. I don't like Graham Potter. I'm sorry. I don't either. I'm not reading into that. I wouldn't mind Parker if you have Rangnick there. No, but if you had a Rangnick as a director of football,
maybe.
We need Rangnick. Personally, we need Rangnick as a director of football. Anyway.
We'll never get a director of football because Daniel Levy is chairman, the manager, and the.
I don't know where else we can go because I'm not having Steve Hitchin doing any more work for us. I'm certainly
got to get
not
Levy out first,
mate.
That's got to be the priority.
We can't have him looking for the manager anymore. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. So for me, we need to move forward, and I think Rangnick's is an obvious choice for me.
I agree.
I've got to be honest. Obvious.
What do you think of Bielsa coming in the club?
No. No.
You wouldn't take Marcelo Bielsa in the club?
No, I wouldn't.
Bielsa's
No.
basically one you tall punch.
Yeah,
Wasn't
you don't. You
yeah.
you love Poch. I love.
To
No,
be honest with you,
I don't think it's going to work with him and us. I think it's just not going to work at
Oh
all.
no, I agree
Jen-
with you. I think he might kill Daniel Levy
Yeah.
once he sees.
Alex, you
Yeah.
know who I win as this Halloween for 2019?
What? Who?
No.
Pochettino.
Yeah, I wanted Pochettino. Listen,
I love
didn't
Pochettino.
want, I
He got
didn't
sacked
want Poch
15
to
days
go.
later. Maybe it was my fault for dressing up like Halloween.
No, but mate, honestly, like I said, it was the biggest mistake sacking Pochettino that time. It was the biggest mistake. But like
I think he
said,
was done at the club, if I'm being honest.
but we have to move on. But I'm just saying that if we're going to get back to that, we need to get back to those days with Poch, and I think Radnick's going to do that for us. I mean, I didn't believe in the young German manager. I forgot his name now.
Nagelsmann?
Nagelsmann. I
Was
didn't
not
think
my
we were going to
best
get
work.
him. Rodgers is never coming to Tottenham. Sorry, I mean, if we're going to be, we're not.
I wasn't trying to be funny. I
literally.
literally dressed up as Pochettino for Halloween in 2019. I wasn't being funny. I have the pictures. I'll post them on my Twitter. That wasn't a joke.
just quickly, there you are, Shamu. You got your answer, my man. But quickly, I do want to go around the panel and see what people make of Bielsa, because he did come out and say he's not making a decision on his future till the summer, right? And we are waiting till the summer to appoint a manager. Kieran, do you think we could be waiting around to try and take Bielsa?
Personally, I don't think we're not announcing the manager because we're waiting for Bielsa. I think we just have no clue, realistically, who we want in the club. Maybe we have a short list, but I don't think we have a nailed one target. Because I think otherwise, realistically, there would have been some sort of talks or reaching out by now. Or you at least hope so if they've narrowed down the target. Would I take him? I mean, at this moment in time, who else really would you say is a clear candidate? There are a few other managers, but to be honest, I think the managers we have available to us, or potentially that are in the conversation, a lot of them are very much like, well, out of all those, you'd probably take just any of them because they're pretty much all the same. I think it's just going to be a task for anyone to come in. So, yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
Cenk, what do you think on Bielsa?
I sent you the link, Cody Mack, by the way. Check Twitter.
If you look at Bielsa's career, he's not actually been at a top club. I'm not saying we're a top club, but that's the question I've got as to why it's never worked out or he's never gone there. You guys get my point?
I can answer it for you.
Yeah.
Bielsa's never liked. He's been offered many top clubs before, especially when he was like younger in Argentina after Newell's. But he was offered a lot of big jobs, but he refused to take them because he doesn't like what he perceives as like easy jobs. He likes building a club from the ground up, like a Leeds, Newell's. Then he also went to Argentina to manage them, which was his dream. So that's why he was never really able to manage a top club.
Good principles, as you guys say, is the Pochettino like granddad sort of thing, isn't he? So I don't know. It'd be interesting. I don't think he would come to Spurs like you're saying. Marcelo Levy would probably end up fly kicking him in the first 10 minutes. But yeah, good manager, but not for Spurs.
No, kind of just touch on that. I kind of feel the same way. It's like he's doing well with Leeds, but like I genuinely just don't know what manager that's on that short list of names that we've heard that you think like, yeah, this is out, because obviously the ones that we had looked at, some of them you look at thinking like, okay, yeah, that's potentially a good candidate that potentially could come in and do a job. But I think everyone else that's either not extended their managerial deals or not gone somewhere else, realistically thinking like, is it going to make a difference? Is it going to make much of a difference?
Yeah,
Probably won't. Listen, I would personally take Bielsa. I would take Bielsa. I want him in my club. I love the vibe that he gives. I love the Pochettino. Like he's a lot like Pochettino, where he's for the club, for the fans. He plays for the fans. He gets the players. Like these players need to be knocked down a few pegs. They need to learn again what hard work is like, Because honestly, sometimes I see I watch them and it's like almost like they can't be bothered. So Bielsa will get rid of the players that are not working for the club, not fighting for the badge, and I think he would bring back the culture of this club. And I don't think he's going to win any trophies. Don't get me wrong. I don't even know if we're going to get top 4 with Bielsa, but what I can say is we're going to get a Tottenham team back again. It's going to be maybe like the Redknapp days where, it's free attacking football. We'll concede 4, we'll score 3, but we'll get that. We'll get our Tottenham back. That's all I want now, because I see this team. This is my least favorite Tottenham squad I've ever seen. Honestly, if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, 100%. That's a fair comment. Ross Vernon has put in a comment as well saying that talks are ongoing with him and Leeds and that he thinks Bielsa will stay at Leeds. And he also says here if Bielsa doesn't get what he wants, i.e. sign his resign 2 days later.
That's for Shamu, David.
What he wants. Sorry?
Shamu said he doesn't have Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. So that the thing that's in there to be shared, the share screen that I had, that's for Shamu.
1 second. What you're sharing your screen? All right. Yeah. 1 second.
That's me for Pochettino for Halloween 2019.
Well, that's not that bad actually.
No, that's a good attempt. To be fair,
That's a good attempt.
Got the wig and everything, man.
That's a good
attempt. You guys don't
man.
know. I don't have any hair, so.
No, that's a brilliant attempt. But what do you make on Bielsa, Will? And then we'll get Alex and we'll bring in Cody Mack as well.
I don't think he'll come. And then 2, it's.
Well, forget about whether he'll come or not. It's just whether would you like him at the club.
If we're gonna play like realistic type stuff, he wouldn't be my first choice. No.
Yeah, that's fair. Alex?
No.
I think Gasparini's a better shout than Bielsa.
I wouldn't even have Gasparini, no. But
Gasparini's class.
But I just wouldn't. It's nothing against him. I think he's got very good values, good principles and stuff. Would he fit the way that we are at the moment as stuff? No.
Celery Agent says you look like the guy from The Hangover.
I don't know who that is. I have to check it out. I don't know which one he's
talking about. You never watched The Hangover?
I've watched The Hangover, but I don't remember anybody with a black wig.
Yeah, no, the Asian guy, Hangover. Hold on.
Oh, you're talking about what's his name? I don't look anything like him.
No, with the wig.
Ken Jeong. You know that guy, Ken Jeong?
Yeah, I know Ken Jeong. Yeah.
Just quickly, lads, I do want to give Cenk a chance to plug his channel before he goes. He sat through 2 hours and 41 minutes with us, guys. It wasn't supposed to be this long, but, the stream I thought has been great crack. It's been jokes, and I've loved it. But Cenk, man, give your channel a good plug. You have 130 people to plug it to.
Literally just at Cenk Coys. I'm absolutely knackered right now, I'll be totally honest. But pleasure being on your channel, mate. It's been great. I'm on Twitter at Cenk Coys as well. I do streams. Spurs, obviously, but also just some general football stuff as well. So if anyone wants to come and check it out, feel free and enjoy the rest of the stream because it's got some entertaining guys in it. And
if we end up with Gareth Southgate, it's Cenk's fault and he has to deactivate his Twitter account.
If we get Southgate, I'll deactivate.
No, but honestly,
it's been a pleasure, mate. Pleasure.
Yeah.
It's at the Spurs web. I do tune in. I think it's brilliant content being pumped out there. So fair play to you, my man, and keep up the good work. And everybody do get over and check it out. You won't be disappointed, I can tell you that.
Yeah, well done for the Spurs web, by the way. Well done.
Cheers, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Cheers, guys. See you later.
Cheers. See you
later.
Man.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for your time. I
think I'm gonna need to do my outro as well because I have to pee like a racehorse.
All right.
Off you go. Plug your channel.
Yeah. THSC Rants will be going live here in about 40 minutes.
We'll
Alex, if you're still awake, I would love to have you on the show sometime, my man. And if the nighttime show doesn't work for you, if you want to come on during like a bald and bearded Tottenham boy show that I do with Cody, or even on one of my Q&A shows that I usually do around like 5 p.m. your time, I'd love it. I think it'd be a good time.
Yeah.
Also, too, check out. I've done a couple tweets. We do have the Bun shirts on the store, as well as moon boots. David, we have a moon boot shirt.
I'd have to get one of them. I have to get one of them. Have to.
I might have to get one.
So guys, check that out, thfcrants.com. But yeah, no. So what I like to do, Alex, is take a lot of the memes from the YouTube world and throw them on shirts. And so it's kind of a fun deal. We've got Man Smell, me and Cody's, bald heads, the bun. So you got Danny's bun. He has his man bun, and then Moon Boots. I got to get one that says "I'm telling you, bro." Marcel, let me put that on a shirt, dude.
I'm telling you, bro.
You have it. You can do it.
We got to get a Toby is the mole one would be good too.
Yeah,
you have to make me an Ireland's #1 Spurs fan one as well.
I'll get you one of those, but yeah, I'll give you the whole profit on that one too.
No, I don't want any. I don't want any profit, man, whatsoever. I just want to see it. An Ireland's #1 Spurs hoodie.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. I'll do it. I probably have some better ideas, David. If you want me to do one to represent your channel, there's probably a lot of great ones.
That'd be fantastic, lad. I'd love it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then, but yeah, we're going live tonight. For sure. Let's throw ideas around. That's what me and Danny did. We just kind of threw ideas around. He sent me a photo of his bun. I traced it and drew it out in Illustrator, and then boom, it's a pretty class shirt, to be honest with you. The bun one, I think, looks pretty.
Adam Phillips wants you to add a Ben Davies testimonial shot for Alex.
Yeah, that'd be good. Ben Davies, 10 years. A little picture of a watch. It says, not in a million.
Or son. Shamu wants a son in a million t-shirt.
Son in a million?
A son in a million.
Yeah. Hit me up on either my stream or Twitter and if you got ideas for a shirt.
I think son will be a little bit tricky because of all the rights.
Yeah,
you got to keep careful with the name. Like we do stuff like meme type stuff, but I don't think I can use people's names, but you could use innuendos and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Just before Will does
list their name.
Just before Will does pop off, we do have 128 people still tuning in at 2:20 in the morning. I don't know what you guys are still doing awake, but you're clearly enjoying the content, and this will just be continuing on over. Will Stewart, THFC rants, like you said, in about 40 minutes time. So why not get over there and tune in if you want more of this type of content? It's going to be an absolute ball of a show, an absolute blast.
Daniel Levy will be coming on the show tonight. Eric Lamello will be making an appearance.
Ben Davies gets testimonial.
I could do Ben Davies. Do you want? I could have Ben Davies come on the show if we want. That's not a bad show. But anyway, guys, thanks for that. I'm about ready to wet myself, so I'll see you guys in 30 minutes. THFC Rants, check it out.
30 minutes. There you are, guys. Big up, Will. Thanks very much for your time, my man.
Yep, no problem.
I do appreciate it. But look, guys, Cody and Marcelo, you're newest to the stream. Anything you want to chat about?
Would you keep Bale?
Oh,
I don't know if you guys talked about
today?
that.
We've already talked about that.
Have you guys talked about that?
Let's talk about that in 3 weeks.
No, look, we'll give Marcelo his answer. There's probably a lot of new people in watching. Look, me personally, yeah, I probably would on the basis of stats from like Lamella and Bergwijn and this and that. With the amount of game time he's had, probably compared to these boys, and this is killing me, but I probably would keep him next season, because just if we are going to buy someone, like if we get rid of him, we do have to buy someone for that position, and there's a lot more urgent positions in this squad that need to be filled.
I agree.
I think I would probably keep him too, as long as it wasn't going to inhibit us from doing other business. Like I wouldn't choose Bale over getting a replacement center back, but man, I would just kill to see Bale with a packed stadium doing what he did today, man, just getting worshipped when he was getting substituted at the 75th minute. That was just the only thing that was missing today was having a crowd there to bestow the worship that he deserves.
Yep. I would extend his loan. I would extend it for another season.
I think Levy should negotiate with Madrid again, because all this stuff that went on over the international break is just Madrid is trying to say, don't fucking come back here. And Bale is saying, you're going to have to pay me either way. So Levy's got leverage to get the loan fee down even further. And so I would get Levy to do that and then have Levy resign.
Yeah, if I'm Daniel Levy, I'm exploiting that. I'll extend the loan for one more year, get another year out of Bale. And honestly, I have to say that Alex was right. Mourinho was not utilizing the front three. I know Alex is a big fan of Bergwijn, but he wasn't utilizing the attack to his full potential. And he was right about that earlier in the season. And personally, I feel like after watching this, Mourinho made a massive mistake at being so persistent about not playing Bale, because I can understand Dele Alli, because listen, Dele Alli was not putting any of the performances even when he gave him a shot. But looking at Bale, it does look like he could have been a difference. We could have been top 4 if he wasn't so stubborn and play Bale. But I think Bale's been very good. I think he's been a guy that's really stepped up when we needed goals.
Well, I wouldn't say he's been very good, but he's shown flashes that he still has the potential to be an impact player. He hasn't really shown up in any important games.
No,
so
that's true.
Like if we had been sitting here, I mean, statistically, I think his statistics are actually better than his results on the pitch. He has quite a few goals in the Premier League, but the thing is, they haven't been very meaningful goals. I mean, maybe the winner against Brighton. The first goal that he scored, the winner against Brighton, was probably the most meaningful.
Today.
But a lot of times he's been kind of, I don't want to say stat padding, but it's been against Burnley and Crystal Palace and
Sheffield,
Wolfsburger and that type. But
no, I get you, Cody. But we also lost to Fulham, Brighton. We lost to. We drew with Newcastle. We drew to a lot of teams and lost to a lot of teams that we should have beaten. Wolves was another one. I think if we had Bale on those games, he would have been a massive difference instead of Bergwijn or Lamela. I think. Listen, I'm not saying he's the solution, but he's a solution for now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, but I will say that he's had some real shit games too.
No, he's had.
Yeah.
No, in the big games.
Sorry, go on, Marcelo.
No. I was going to say in the big games, I'd rather play Bergwijn than Bale, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. See, I think like if we look at it, like Bale was getting 18, 20 minutes. Like he only got, like if you look at the games he's played, I've just got it up here. Right, so he had 18 minutes against West Ham in the 3-3 draw.
You almost scored too.
Yeah.
He also had the chance to win that game, though.
Yeah.
Beyond doubt.
His second game he played was against Brighton. He had 20 minutes and he got a goal. And then he played 78 minutes against West Brom, didn't score. But Leicester played 45 minutes, didn't score. Liverpool played 9 minutes. I mean, pretty pointless bringing him on for 9 minutes, but he didn't score there. Brighton, 61 minutes, didn't score. Man City had 18 minutes, and he didn't score. But that Man City game was the game where everyone kind of went like, Bale was our best player in that game when he came on, and he'd only had 18 minutes, but we looked like we're actually starting to take a bit more control of the game once he came on.
You could argue that City had switched off in that game at that point. They were up 3-0 because Bale had 30 minutes in the cup final, and did he touch the ball? I mean,
I think this is just kind of just going around in circles about this. Bale's just not good enough at the moment for us at the moment.
But genuinely, can I just say this? Because this is what I was going to say. So he's kind of just getting like mixed games. Like in between those performances, there was so in between West Brom and Leicester, there was 5 games where he didn't even play. Then between Leicester and Liverpool, there was 4 games where he didn't play.
Yeah, but he's not good enough. He's not good enough for. At the end of the day, but if we're looking to move forward, if we're going to go and do this pressing football, okay, looking at the squad that we have at the moment and the team and the structure and how we approach games, unfortunately, Bale doesn't fit in. You can't put him on that right hand side. He's too slow. Simple as that. Too slow. Okay,
scoring more goals than any of our other right wingers.
You play him as a striker. I take your point. He's a very good finisher. Absolutely fantastic. I would say, play him up front. You can do whatever he wants there, and play a bit of a free roll if you want to do that. But for me, unfortunately, the money that we're paying for him, I think unfortunately we have to move on. We brought him in from nostalgia reasons. Hopefully, I got that right. Nostalgia reasons. That's why I don't see the point of it.
But he's been better than Bergwijn. I think you're being very unfair. He's been better than Bergwijn.
I think Bergwijn hasn't had any chance, but we had this.
He's played more. He's had more minutes than Bale.
I have a question too.
Bergwijn's had 18 games. Bergwijn's had 18 games. What do you mean he hasn't had a chance? He's had 18 games to get a single goal, and he hasn't.
This is what I've been saying, and people have been telling me this.
As I said before,
can I just finish my point?
Yeah, let Kieran finish his point there quickly.
I've said this earlier, but Ndombele, Lo Celso, Lucas, Lamela, and Bergwijn combined, Bale has more goals than all of them combined.
He does. He's been doing his job, Alex. No, you can't deny it. Like you're telling us he's not good enough for the club, but you're telling me that Bergwijn is, and you're telling me that Winks is. No, that's not nostalgic.
When you're looking at this, okay, the games that he scored goals, but that's because the team around him have actually done more of the work for him to do those goals. So as far as I'm concerned, we can't have just one player not doing the work for the squad, because unfortunately he's a weakness on that right hand side.
Alex,
that's why people are getting through. So Alex, I'm sorry.
Can I ask you?
I don't agree.
Can I ask you, Alex? I just want to know if you think that what we've seen from Gareth Bale this season is his ceiling as a player going forward.
Yes.
You think this is the best that he can be?
This is the best he can be. Yes.
Okay, that's fair.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I'm not trying to be harsh, because I think he was my hero at that time when he was in 2013. But I think it was a nostalgic signing. It wasn't Jose signing. It was quite obvious. I've told the story already about what happened the 3 weeks before he got signed. So, I mean, it's quite obvious it's a Levy signing. And I thought he was going to play up front, but for some reason he keeps on playing on the right, and it doesn't not work on the right. That's why people think, "Oh, Bale's playing on the right. He's not going to track back."
He scored a lot of goals. He scored a lot of goals.
Yes, he scored lots of goals. I know, but where he's a forward. A lot of goals.
But he's a forward.
Scored a lot of goals, though.
He's got a goal. He's got a goal every 67 minutes.
Yeah, but where's he scored?
You did make a good point there, though, Alex. That you're saying Bale isn't good enough, but you're saying Winks and Davies is.
Yeah, like
no, we're not going. Okay,
take Bale out the team. Who else but Kane and Son provides goals for us next season?
Bergwijn.
He scored none this season. So how can you say that? He scored nothing.
Come on now, Alex. Come on now.
Alex Bergwijn. You've got Ndombele.
Can I ask, is Bale's wages the biggest issue for you?
I just don't see the point of him being in the team, to be honest with you. No, I don't see the point.
Well, I saw 3 points today. I saw 3 goals and I saw 3 points in the bank.
Against Southampton.
Sheffield United in a pointless in a game that doesn't matter anymore. Our season's over. Literally, we're just playing games to see if we win the games, and that's it.
This is actually a good comment, right, by Aglaya. I hope I pronounced her name right, or his name right. Whichever.
No, it's a her. Yeah, it's a she.
Yeah, okay, sorry. So
born and bred in Tottenham, this woman. Fair play to her.
But yeah, she said, play Bale and Bergwijn. They'll complement each other, as Bergie has the legs and presses very well, and Bale has the tricks and goal scoring attributes. I agree with that comment a lot. And I think for the games where you need someone who's going to have to track back constantly, you're going to need that work rate, then you have Bergwijn.
But where do you fit him in then, Kieran? Because you're making the point that they've
good?
Very, very well. So either you play Bale up front and then Bergwijn on the right then. That's what you're saying.
No. What we're saying is in the bigger games, we play Bergwijn because he has the legs to just track back and he knows the defensive know-hows. But then in the when we're playing mid-table sides where we're going to have a lot of the possession and we're going to play a lot of the lower sides, we rather play Bale because he knows how to open up defenses better and he also can score a goal, unlike Bergwijn.
Yeah, I will say this to Alex. I will say this. Before today, I would have sent Bale back as well. For sure. I'm definitely letting the results of today's game affect my opinion. And even after today, it's still touch and go whether or not. Like I said, I wouldn't keep Bale if it prevented us from improving our weaknesses on the defensive side. I don't think anybody's making that argument.
Or if we can get a better right winger, like a Leon Bailey or something like that. obviously we want to get that.
Marcelo, this is not FIFA,
But
mate.
do you know
We're
what?
not
I
gonna
think
do that.
I think we're all missing a key thing as well, right? Bale is one of the most accomplished wingers, like, in the world, right? And
Yes.
at one time he was one of the best wingers
Yes.
in the world, right? So the thing is, you got to think as well, if Bergwijn has people like Bale and Son who he can learn off and actually help, and they can actually help bring him through, and you're saying he's lacking confidence, what better two players than two world-class players like them to help bring him through and give him that confidence and help him?
Yeah,
I
agree.
understand what your point is, but again, it comes down to a squad, and I think, as I said, we've got to move on.
But you're saying
it's not
the squad. But if we remove him, you're saying we have Bergwijn, who has 0 goals this whole season.
Yep.
I think I think with a better coach,
injured, and
I think
if Bergwijn's injured and we don't have Bale, who steps up then? You're saying it's a squad issue.
I think you can bring someone for the youth team, or you could do something. I just think at the moment,
you don't have any right wingers.
You're stopping somebody's development having Gareth Bale there.
But you can say the same thing for Ben Davies.
Either you've got a solution here. Either then you play him up front because he's clearly not a right winger anymore. He's not that anymore for me, right? Or you have to let him go and you bring somebody else up, because I think that's where we need to go anymore.
Okay, let me ask this question.
Sorry, lads. Just quickly before we respond, there's 2 comments I want to get to. Jack knew I haven't seen you in here before. Big yourself up. He says, I'm from Connemara in Ireland. If you know where that is, Irish Hotspur. Of course I do, man. It's one of the only last Irish-speaking places left in Ireland. Of course I know where Connemara is, my man. Big yourself up. And Aglia Kakaratis says, you deserve all the plaudits, David. That's coming from a lady born and bred in Tottenham and live and breed Spurs just like you, David. We just want want the best for our great club, and your channel is fab. Thank you so much. And I have seen you say you do want to come on. Do get in contact with me on Twitter, at the Irish Way, and I'll send you a link if you do want to come on one day and have your say. So big up. But sorry, guys, keep going.
But hold on a second. Okay, go ahead, Cody.
I just want to ask Alex if there was anything that Bale could show in the last 4 games of the season that would change your mind.
There's nothing's changed, because I had made my decision already. Beginning of the season, he should never have come in the first place. I don't see the point of it. Didn't see the point of it in the first place. It was nostalgic signing. That was it. So for me, moving on, I think we need to move him on and then find another solution. If you're looking at going for a pressing team that plays good football, who's got lots of energy, unfortunately, Gareth Bale is not part of that team for me. And that's it. And that's the harsh reality of it, unfortunately.
But can I ask a question, right? Because you keep saying, well, he can't play on the right, he can't play on the right. If he was willing to play through the middle, either behind Kane or as a backup to Kane, would you take him then?
Possibly, but again, I still think we should.
So your main issue is him on the right.
I don't think he's right for our team anymore. Unfortunately, I don't think. I think it's the wrong direction we're going in. I think we look for young, youthful players, but press and got lots of energy about them, and we need to get back to that sort of ilk of a team. I think that's where Tottenham was at their best, and that's why I've said that we need to get Redknapp in charge of this team. For me, so for me, Gareth Bale doesn't fit into that ilk. Unfortunately.
So you're also telling me that Ben Davies needs to go, and so does Harry Winks.
I'm not going on about it.
Let's just keep it on Bale, right?
You can't say that about Bale.
I'm not talking about Davies.
No, you can make independent arguments about different players without them being related, Marcelo.
I get that, but you can't tell me.
But you are looking on context of what Gareth Bale has won,
who's been our best right winger this
compared
season
to Harry Winks. You can't make that comparison, because, in fairness, Cody, you can't sit here on one breath and say Harry Winks is good enough when he's done absolutely fuck off for the club, and then sit here and say Gareth Bale has to go. So I do believe
when he scored, I can make that comment, because Bale has actually been our best right winger this season. No, you can laugh, Alex, but the stats prove it, mate. You're wrong. He's been I think he's our third top scorer and the club, right?
I wonder why we're Spursy.
Am I correct?
Wonder why we're Spursy. Honestly,
because we have Ben Davies at the fucking
we wonder
club.
why we're Spursy.
I can
Honestly,
actually address
honestly,
this.
we don't win nothing, and
I'm bringing you stats and information. He's been our best right winger. Who else has been better than him? No. Name a better right winger that's been better than him this season.
But Bob, it's not work.
No. Name one. Name one.
But you're going on.
Name one.
You're waffling on here.
No, but name one.
No, but what I'm trying
to
say.
I'm not waffling. Just name one.
No, Marcelo. All I'm saying is, right? Are we a good team at the moment? No, we're not.
No.
Okay, so let's just come.
But is that because of Bale?
It's
not because of Bale.
Let's come.
He's been scoring the goals. He's been doing his job.
Marcelo, let me make my point now. Okay, let's come on to some facts here. Okay, unfortunately, Gareth Bale is not good for the team at the moment.
That's not a fact. That's an opinion.
In my opinion.
Can I just interject?
I think if we need to move on, we need to move on, and we need to get back to the team that we were with Poch. Okay, and as far as I'm concerned, Bale is not part of that setup, unfortunately. So that's the way I feel at the end of the day.
Let me ask. We can go around. Just a one-word answer. I want to ask you, and I want you to include all of the underlying factors that come with the Gareth Bale loan. So you have to think about the amount that he is costing us. You have to think about some of the distraction that he has been off the pitch during the international break. Yes or no? Do you think that Gareth Bale's loan has been successful?
I think it's been good. I think it's been good. Yeah. I think so. I mean,
because I didn't think that. I still don't really feel that it despite him having an excellent match today. You take away today's match, and I don't think that there's any question that it hasn't worked out the way that we had hoped it would back in August and September.
Okay, hold on a second. I gotta just bring up, because you gotta remember when he came in, he was injured. He hadn't played in a year, so we all said he's gonna have to get fit. So when he first came into Spurs, it was basically just trying to get fit, right?
But we didn't think it would take 4 months to get fit.
But, well, you can say it's been 4 months, or you can say that was Mourinho refusing to play him, because there was a lot of debate that at one point he was fit. Like Kieran said, Mourinho would often let him, out for 4 or 5 games, because that's what just Mourinho. He did that to everyone other than Sonny and Kane in the squad, But if you look at it, he scored 14 goals and 3 assists in 30 games. I would say, for a guy that came in trying to get fit, right, who came in unfit, that's a successful loan season.
What is the best? What is the best team that he scored against?
I mean, you can say that about Harry Kane. I don't think Harry Kane has many goals against the top guys. But
just to answer your question, no, I wouldn't take him.
Probably Southampton.
I don't think he's had a good season. No, I don't think he's had a good season.
Right. So Bale's the most difficult opponent Bale has scored against is Southampton.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the stats are a little bit misleading. He's been stat padding against in the Europa League and in the cup in the cup games against, what was it?
However, can I just say, let's take into account, we're talking about the teams he's scored against, but when he's played against big teams, let's just go through the list of big teams he's played against. 8 minutes against Man United. Yep. We can agree that 8 minutes isn't enough to come on and really make an impact.
No.
Right? Arsenal 57 minutes. I think we can all agree that was a terrible performance. Man City he had 18 minutes against. Liverpool he had 9 minutes against. And then the only other one is Leicester, which he had 45 minutes against.
Okay, Kieran, is Gareth Bale playing as well as he has played all season right now?
I think he had a poor start, but I think is
he at his best that we've seen right now?
I would probably say the past couple of months, yeah.
Okay, so he came on with 30 minutes left in the cup final. Did we hear his name get said at all?
No, we didn't. But did we hear Kane or Son do anything?
Yeah, you can say the same. I mean, listen,
goal scorers, and look at the goal contributions they've had all season. So we can say that for Bale, but we have to apply the same argument to everyone else if we're going to apply it to him. You know,
Kane
what I mean?
only
You can't apply to one player because then that becomes an agenda against that
Yes,
person. If you apply that to
Gareth
everyone-
Bale is our highest paid player. He is. He's making more than Harry Kane per week.
Yeah.
So are we getting a fair return on that investment right now?
No.
See, look.
No, I would say we can do better.
I think if you
He's
look
being
at,
paid more than 3 times what we pay Davinson Sanchez. Right now, Davinson Sanchez isn't a good player, but if we can replace Gareth Bale with 2 players that can contribute and can contribute in a meaningful way, even if it's like Gareth Bale has, like I've said, he hasn't really scored very important goals against difficult opponents. So for £220,000 a week, you could probably get 3 players that are doing what Gareth Bale has done this year.
but if you consider the actual cost alone across season, I think it's like 12.4 million. Someone said earlier, for 12.4 million, are you going to be able to bring in a player and pay their wages for a year that is going to provide what he has provided? And yes, we can say it's against low opposition, but like I said, like if you look at the minutes he's been given against the bigger opposition, like yes, we can say like he played the final, but he didn't. That wasn't even a full half. It was 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 30 minutes of a whole team that was underperforming. But you can also say the same thing for Harry Kane. Harry Kane doesn't this season. A lot of his goals just came against the bottom half opposition. In fact, if you look at Sonny has been our best big game player this season. He scored most of the goals against the top 6. He scored the goal most against the big games. Harry Kane hasn't scored a lot of goals in the big games.
I will say this: it is a very difficult question, the Gareth Bale question, and there's so many moving parts to it because let's face it, Gareth Bale will put people in the stands next season when we have fans back at the stadium. Gareth Bale is an asset in the same way that Sonny is an asset in that he creates revenue streams that we don't know about. You know what I mean? So it is definitely a difficult question. I think. The way I would summarize it is, Alex, you cannot deny that Gareth Bale brings dynamic qualities that only a few players in world football can do, despite the fact that he is a defensive liability. But he's also pretty expensive, so it's a tough question.
But let me ask you this, Cody: quickly. If next season, I'm sorry, David. Yeah, go ahead, David.
No, go on, because I'm going to end it because I don't want to be eating into Will's stream, so I do want to end it there for Will. But no, sorry, go on, Marcella. Have you say, man?
I was just going to say this, and I'll end it off with this. I would rather us go, if we can't get a right winger, right, because I think we need a right winger. I don't think Bergwijn is good enough to be starting in and out. He's not good enough. I don't care. He scored 0 goals this season, and he's faced some of the shit opposition that Bale's faced. So for me, that's not good enough. If we don't get a right winger and we can negotiate with Madrid to get a better loan deal for next season, I would 100% take Bale next season. 100%. He is much better than Bergwijn, especially against the lower half oppositions. I would take him over Bergwijn. And, you can talk about developmental this, developmental that, but the guy's got to put also in the pitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Well summed up, my man. I do appreciate that. Dan Davenport, new channel member. What a man, what a hero, what a legend. Everyone else, if you have enjoyed the stream, while we let the lads plug their channels, don't be afraid to get in your super chats and show your appreciation for the stream, people. But Dan Davenport, I do fan shows once a week and that, usually every Friday at 9:30. I would love to see you on one, my man. But we'll start with Kieran and work our way around the panel. Kieran, plug whatever you need to plug, my man.
Just before I plug myself, I did say about that figure, 12.4 million. Like you said, there is other revenues and things like that Gareth Bale brings. Realistically, like you've actually got to think of, okay, well, if we're going to get someone who's going to kind of give us the same output of goals or whatever that he's given us currently, we need to consider that it's actually Gareth Bale is probably making a lot of that 12.4 million back for us. Is this other player going to for that 12.4 million? It's a thing. It's a hard question because Gareth Bale is providing goals at the moment. The thing is, if we say we're not going to take him, then we do need to bring someone in who is going to give us goals, because how can we be sitting here talking like, well, we don't know if it's been successful, but he's still our 3rd highest goal scorer behind Son and Kane, who've had their best seasons.
Right. But again, like the best opponent that he scored against is Southampton.
Yeah, but okay,
terrible, right?
Lads, but you can't say that.
I take your point.
You guys can continue this over on Will Stewart's channel. I really don't want to be eating into his time, man. He's so good to me. I really don't want to be doing it. So, Kieran, plug yourself, man.
Yeah, look at another channel at the moment, but you can follow me on Twitter. It's let's_talkspurs.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Alex, do you want to let everyone know where they can find you if they do want you to come on?
You can find me on the Football Terrace. Yeah, it's just been good on the channel for Football Terrace. It's a great channel. Love to have more Spurs fans on there. But yeah, just been a pleasure. Debating with you, Czech. I forgot his name now. The Premier Hotspur.
Yeah.
You, Kieran. Great debates with you. Really enjoyed that. Marcelo always. And Cody, it's good to meet you as well. So yeah, it's been really, really good, and it's been a pleasure. And always, David, it's always a pleasure to debate with you every single time. So yeah, it's been really good, really good.
That's the smile I want to see. Come on, Alex, give me a smile before I let you go, man. That's what I'm talking about. And Alex, I just want to say it was an absolute pleasure meeting you outside the Tottenham Stadium as well. You know, it was an absolute pleasure, man. You're an absolute gentleman.
Yeah, made my day. I'm Matt Hayes.
Can I just say as well, obviously, because Alex has made a comment. Look, it's a pleasure. I was having a conversation with you as well. Even if we don't agree, the one thing that we can agree on is we love Tottenham. And whether our opinions differ, people are always going to have different opinions. At the end of the day, if we can get along and we both support Tottenham, I don't mind us having different opinions, but love the smile. It's a bit contagious. Even you're making me smile.
Cameron, stop worrying, mate. No, thank you for that.
Don't worry about Alex. He makes a living off this, lad. He makes a living off this.
Mate, don't worry about it. David gives me all the time, man. We love each other, man. We can talk about Tottenham all day, man. We had a personal conversation and we spoke all day, mate. We spoke about an hour, so. Yeah, you know what I mean, it's all about Tottenham, man. Today, mate.
This is the great thing about these streams, though. You know, we can all disagree, but we're all friends at the end of the day, and that's the thing. You know, a lot of people think me and Alex don't like each other. We actually do, you know. We actually do like each other.
I love Alex.
Yeah, man.
But let's give Cody. I know. You may as well take the plug for Will's channel here. So go.
Yeah, for sure. Look, actually, I think Will and I are talking back and forth about collaborating on his channel a little bit more. You know, me becoming more of an official partner. We haven't really finalized anything like that, but if you do want to, if you're either an early riser or a night owl, if you're in London or the UK, we do nighttime streams starting about 10 o'clock Eastern, so 3 a.m. You can always check them out the next day too. And yeah, like I said, Will and I are talking about some different ideas. So we're gonna start our stream in about 5-10 minutes from now. I'm sure I'll see the likes of Mr. K over there. And yeah, I'll echo what Kieran and Alex have both said. You know, I think it's a good thing to have debate and discourse. I think there's not enough of that in today's world. And absolutely, we can all agree. You know, when it comes down to it, we can all agree we're fucked.
Yeah.
No, yeah, 100%.
We are. And big up Will Stewart for the Will Stewart here quickly, Alex. He just wants to send. He says, "I love Alex." He says he loves you, man. Big up Will Stewart. That was an absolute cracking debate earlier on. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Well, can I just say as well, like, because I made a comment that I'm not a YouTuber, and I wasn't being asked from YouTubers. This is me, because I have to think about other things as well. But yeah, Matt Hayes, fantastic channel, by the way, great analysis. So yeah, I just want to just big him up. Also Eleanor as well. So yeah, just want to big up those two people. Chris Cowlin, as well, because I love that guy. I saw him with you as well. So yeah,
great channel you're on here, Alex.
That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, sorry, man.
No, Alex, fair play to you. Like two great Spurs content creators as well. But Marcelo, look, there's so many people asking, about a channel, Marcelo, for you. There's so many people asking about it. And I know you don't have plans. I think you should reconsider. But look, if people do want to get in contact with you and have a chat or bring you on, where can they find you?
Well, if you want to see me do content, I mean, this is the homeland right here. This is my second home. You know, David and I were boys. You know, we usually do our show Frenemies, although we've been lacking on it. We both been busy
Yeah.
boys. Forgive us.
Yeah.
But we'll bring that back. Don't worry. Frenemies are still here. We're just creating some content, getting some ideas, see what we want to provide good debates that you guys want to listen to. But yeah, mainly here, Will Stewart. You guys will see me. As far as creating my own channel, I don't want to create something that and tell people I want to create this set schedule and not live up to it. That's just not who I am. I'd rather not do that. And it's just that I just work 50 hours a week, and hospitals is always like my schedule changes every day. One day I'm working a week and the other I'm not. So I can't promise anything. So channel probably won't happen. But you can always catch me on here and Will Stewart.
We still get
Yeah,
you here.
look,
At least we get you.
This is Marcelo's home away from home. This is, that's exactly what it is. But Marcelo, is there a day this week we'll be bringing them frenemies?
So actually, David, I was looking into maybe Thursday. We can maybe do something there. Maybe Thursday, or if not, Friday. One of those
Yeah,
two.
well, look, whatever suits, because I can just move the fan show to the Thursday either. So it's whatever suits. But there you are, guys. Marcelo's giving you the answer. Frenemies will be back this week. It's the one you've all been waiting for. But look, this has been a great stream. It's gone on a hell of a lot longer than what I thought it was. We started off with Premier Hotspur, Cenk from Spurs Web. We had Will Stewart on from Will Stewart THFC Rants. We have Alex Keir on. We have Cody Mack and Marcelo all joining in today. So big up to all the panel for giving up their time to make this show happen. A big up to you crazy, crazy people. All the people that have tuned in. We've had over 130 more stream, or nearly all stream. And it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. You guys still are wanting more. It's unbelievable. Give yourselves a pat on the back. I want to say a massive thank you to all of you, the Harris Army, for tuning in. And do the basics. Smash a like on the stream. And subscribe on the channel. Just quickly, Will Stewart will be going live in 3 minutes. There's 106 people left here now. I want all 106 to get over and show my man Will Stewart THFC Rants the support. He's going to go live. He's going to continue on this conversation. So you've been entertained here. You're going to be entertained over there. Until next time, come on, you Spurs. And Daniel Levy out.
Yep. Enoch out.
Enoch as well.
Yeah.